What is shaking, everybody? We are out here in the lovely city of Pleasanton, where I did not know this, but Cam Inman is the mayor of Pleasanton,
vice mayor
of the Bay Area News Group. Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area, and Matt Barrows of The Athletic. Fellas, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for organizing.
Now, this is going to be fun. We're at McKays. If you guys want to stop on by in Pleasanton, I've already checked out the tap list. Incredible tap list. We're going to have food out here. The backyard, if you want to call it the backyard, the patio, whatever you want to call it, is awesome. Really nice foliage. I feel like I'm at the Oakland Zoo.
Jump for the giraffes.
Something's going to jump out at me behind my head. I have to keep an eye. Hey, what's that?
We're safe.
So, yeah, I wanted to get everybody together because I love talking to these guys. And I figured, okay, Niner draft. And I needed someone to help me pronounce the names. Apparently, that's Barrows.
That's Barrows' department.
Ephesians Prysock.
There you go.
Ephesians.
Just Sean.
Okay, there you go. I'm just going to go last name. That's Prysock.
Just don't call
Not-
it dry sock.
It's not dry sock.
I had a dry socket once. I swear. I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I had a spiderweb headache like you wouldn't believe. And I know this isn't, you're not supposed to do this, but a bottle of Tylenol, I went through in 3 days. 3 days Tylenol, just 8, 9 at a time. That's how desperate I was. And I was like, look, what's the worst that could happen? That'd be better than the pain I'm in right now. And so I sucked it up.
Just like their Flintstone chewables?
Yeah. Not the grape ones, though. I didn't like the grape ones. Yeah, I didn't like the Barney Rubble ones. Those weren't very good.
I learned that beer does the same because I had mouth surgery last week, and this numbs it pretty good still.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know what? When I had my surgery, about 3 months ago, 2.5, 3 months ago. And I got home about a week after the surgery. My taste buds were all like switched around and the beer didn't taste the same.
Oh, that's not good.
And I told the doctor, I said, look, I know, you guys busted me open again and did the aortic surgery and everything. And I had to have it. But if the beer doesn't taste right, I'm going to ask you guys to redo everything. Just like put it back where it was. And I'll just live out the rest of my life.
The old parts,
at least the beer tastes good. Like
it's like a reverse vasectomy, essentially. I mean, it's just as important.
I'm like, look, I just want the beer to taste good. That's it. That's all I want. The beer to taste good.
Is that too much to ask?
It really isn't. And we're back to normal though. I know everyone's kind of got the foliage like creeping up behind them. So let me ask you guys this. And this is kind of how we're going to do it. Before we get going, I want to thank our sponsor, Fieldwork. You can see a couple Fieldworks right here. We got a couple non-alcoholic beers. The Encore Day Money is the one I kind of enjoy. And then the other two are those seltzers. What are those? Are they seltzers? I don't know what those are. I've never had those before. Those don't look. No, I'm gonna get up. Okay. These guys are looking at like I don't know.
That's a non-alcoholic beer.
That looks like a passion fruit orange bitter. Oh, it's a super tonic. There you go, super. I never had the super tonic before.
And there's field work on the tap list. Too.
Oh yes, there is, which I'm sure we'll be having. So if you guys are going to a Giants game, head over to the one in China Basin. They're going to have one open in Mission Rock pretty soon, and they're all over the place. You go to a fine establishment like this, a good beer garden, they're going to have field work. So go ahead and enjoy.
They got one in Monterey too, don't they?
They have one in Monterey. They got one in San Leandro. They have one in Berkeley. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, Barry's crushing
Bishop
it.
Branch,
So,
San Ramon.
Look at that. Everybody's been. That one's always packed.
It is.
Oh, I was just out there a week ago. So let me ask you guys this, and you guys can just jump in whenever you want to jump in. Is it me? Because I don't pay that much attention to the draft. Like I watch it, it's kind of background music.
You don't have a draft crush?
No, I don't. I don't have a draft crush like you.
It's kind of weird.
But is there more talk about like the big board consensus draft? Like I feel like there's more talk and more angst after this year's draft than there has there always been. I just don't pay attention.
I think this is my theory that I decided on. I think it was going to be anticlimactic because they didn't draft a first round guy. Right. And like in 22 and 23, you understood that you gave up those picks for your Trey Lance backfire. But in this one, you're like, oh, they're close. They're going to make a Super Bowl run. Who are they going to get in the first round? They didn't make anybody. But it's like, so all of a sudden the draft's a bummer, right? And then they make a couple guys that you haven't heard of before. Yep. And so that puts everybody in this negative mindset. And then you can refer to the boards and reaches and all that.
And we were writing about maybe a half dozen guys ad nauseum for like, I don't know, 2-3 months.
I mean, you're part of the problem.
I'm
You're
absolutely
absolutely part of the problem, because people are like, well, Matt said it and he said it over and
Exactly.
over again, so that must be who they're going to take. And then when they don't, they're like, motherfuckers, no, what are they doing?
That's
They're a
essentially
bunch of
it.
idiots.
Well, so when they eventually take Dejan Stribling
Yep.
with the 33rd pick, no one's heard of him. So it seems like a terrible pick. I mean, it's more of a case of people not being familiar with the guy like they were Omar Cooper Jr. and Denzel Boston,
yep.
et cetera, et cetera.
It's all about the buildup.
Yeah.
The draft, there's two parts of this draft that people get equally into. It's the buildup to the draft, and then it's what actually happens. And the buildup to the draft, people's minds are influenced greatly by what they're reading or seeing. And so I'm going to use Mel Kiper as the
punching bag.
Well, he's the guy. I'll use his name instead of naming all of them.
Yeah.
So he was the first. He's the godfather of the draft. If he doesn't set up the fan base by extolling the virtues of the player, and if your team doesn't get one of those guys, they get somebody else, all of a sudden your team is just stupid because Mel Kiper says he was the pick there.
Yeah. Well, I think I would even disagree with you when you said greatly. I think solely, because I don't think these people know these players. Like if we had a ban on mock drafts for a year, people would not know what to do. They wouldn't know what to think, because they have no clue about a guard from Penn State. But if you talk about him enough, they think they know him. And then when you don't draft him, well, then you're the idiot for not drafting him because everybody said you should draft him. I try to point out to people, you realize the people that are doing the mock drafts, they don't work in front offices, right? Like this is what they do. And you can correct me. You guys can all correct me. I would imagine most writers are like, I could do without having to do a mock draft, except the editor wants it, the magazine wants it, the paper wants it, because people are interested in it.
What we're good at as writers that cover the team are figuring out what the team needs, and also figuring out, okay, this is what the 49ers did in their last 9 drafts. This is their MO.
Right.
This is probably what they're going to do. So Omar Cooper Jr., for example, big name that was associated with the 49ers in their pick, made a lot of sense because he's a receiver and he gets yak and he blocks and he's tough.
Yep.
That's also Stribling. So you start to, it's not a leap when you think, okay, this is what they need for this offense. Cooper would have given them that, but Stribling does as well. So you start to think of it that way, and it doesn't seem as big of a reach as it might.
I think there's two things. I think we kind of failed in the media in not setting the stage for Stribling, because he was one of those guys when 49ers took him at 33. My reaction was, what the hell are they doing? And then you start to watch some highlights and you see and you hear him talk and you ask him questions, and then you go, how did we miss this guy? He's so obvious a 49er.
Yeah, when they brought him in on Saturday with his family, really nice guy. What has he said? He grew up in Hawaii, and so he said you learn how to play physical there, and you got to dominate. But he did it in a way where he's like confident yet humble, and then you start going, okay, well, he's really fast and he's pretty big, so it's okay. So this is a faster Juwan Jennings, but he's humble. There's no contract drama yet.
Yeah.
And then it turned out like he didn't visit the 49ers, so he's off everybody's radar because nobody knows whether he visited them. He visited 7 teams, so he had this amazing interest around the league, but the Niners weren't linked to him. So that's why everybody's like, well, wait a minute, is what's going on here? Why did they take this guy instead of Omar Cooper or Denzel Boston or whatever?
Well, I think a lot of it too could be from their standpoint. I mean, throw in Boston or Cooper or whoever and Stribling. And it's like, okay, how much of a difference is there between those two? Like, or three. If you're telling us we could have Cooper or Stribling, maybe we take Cooper. But if you're telling me we could have Stribling and an extra pick or two, then we'll take Stribling because we're going to get some extra players along with it. So it was pretty apparent that Cooper didn't jump at them that much. Boston didn't jump out at them that much. And this guy jumped out at him insofar as we can get some extra picks to go along with it.
But
too.
he was also a gold helmet guy, which was their 16 gold helmet guys, which is they swear by. Because
what's a gold helmet guy? Guy that checks all the boxes?
Yes.
Exemplary in lots of different categories. So on the field,
Like, does he always put the seat down after he goes to the bathroom?
That would
exemplary.
be outstanding.
Like,
well, wait a minute. Shanahan,
Unless he sees you falling, he leaves it up.
Shanahan,
give that man a gold
He'd be
star.
getting the non-alcoholic field work if he were with us.
Shanahan
right
did reveal a new grading category this year
He
for the defensive end Romello Heights, saying, "Oh yeah, he led everybody in the play with your hair on fire category." I'm like, what? Like 2 years ago, it was, hey, we got this guy named Robert Beal. He's a really good defensive end. He led everybody in the GTFO category. And we're like, that's a category? You actually draft based on that? And then the guy had 1 sack in 3 years. Really good.
Tom and I would fail at the hair on fire.
Yeah, we
category.
did 1 year. We did great at it.
Yes,
And then that was it. At that
exactly.
point.
It's a one and done type
Yeah.
of.
I say
situation.
deforestation got me. I was like, damn it.
You know what? There are a couple guys I really listen to when it comes to the draft.
Thanks, Matt.
No, not you. You're down on the list.
You're on
Daniel
the other end.
Jeremiah, I think, is really
Okay.
because he has NFL ties.
Yep.
And also Greg Cosell is really
Love Greg.
good. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jeremiah in the days leading up to the draft was talking up Stribling, and he was like, he has a chance to get in late in the first round. He'd been hearing stuff that he was going to be drafted a lot sooner. And then he mentioned the other guy, the guy from Arizona, the safety Stukes, as two guys that were, he's been hearing some really good things around the league. And then Cosell said today on the Ross Tucker football podcast that he was talking to someone not on the 49ers after the fact, and they said their team had him ranked ahead of Mekhi Lemon. So it's not like that was a draft pick out of nowhere, but it was a draft pick out of nowhere as it pertains to the media trying to mock who the 49ers might take.
The one thing I thought was interesting was they went back. I think Warren Sharp did this. He went back over a number of years where the 49ers reached, where they didn't reach, and how they did with the reaches. And I didn't go back that far. And I think for it to have
Ken's
real
giggling because I think he was thinking like reach
let me get to my
around or
question.
Oh, I'm laughing. No. Go ahead. Finish your thing. I'm just.
I could have done this, but I felt like going on with my life. I could have gone to every
Good for
team
you.
and see how they did in drafting overreaches. But here's what I would say about that. I wonder if the 49ers look at that to see if they're, and I hate saying it because it's the consensus big board. It's been 2 days since I've learned about it. It's like, now I'm already tired of it. But do they look at that, you think, and say, okay, you guys are already going no.
Well,
No, do they look at it in this regard? Like, if we're way high or way low on somebody, do we self-scout ourselves to say, why are we way high or way low on somebody? Or do they just not even pay attention to it at all?
I asked John Lynch last Monday before the draft, and I didn't mean to like a gotcha moment. I said, how in your 10 years doing this, how have you used more and more artificial intelligence, right?
Okay.
He says, yeah, everybody, we do it. If you're not doing it, you're behind. And then everybody jumped on it as like a viral, oh my God, the Niners use ChatGPT to draft. And it's like, obviously not. So they go against the grain. Maybe that's what they do. But like in terms of like the reach and like, so what do you do Purdy? Does Purdy all of a sudden give you plus 5,000 points because you got a franchise quarterback with a 262nd pick?
Well, they should have reached. They should have taken him in the 5th round. Why
Can you reach on the last pick of the draft? I mean, there's no more reaching at that point. I think you're toast at that point.
But also the thing is, like the people that we're talking about now, the Mel Kipers, they're doing it for 32 teams. They're just doing they're doing it scheme non-specific. Yep. So teams like for instance, the scouts, the 3 scouts that came out after the draft for the 49ers, R.J. Gillen, Tarek Ahmad, and Josh Williams, they said that they sat down with the new defense coordinator, Raheem Morris, and it's not going to be a huge variance from what he's looking for as opposed to Robert Saleh, but he comes in and they sat down with him and he gave them the specs of what he wanted at every position, starter and backup. And then, of course, we know Shanahan's system is different, although there's a lot of teams running that system. It's different than what teams that are just smash mouth, gap blocking scheme. They're looking for different types of players. And so their board is tailored specifically to their scheme. The other thing is teams have so much more information than the guys doing those draft boards. Character, medical, psychological. I mean,
Medical.
it's
Wait, we didn't hear about the aptitude test, the Wonderlic. There was no Wonderlic.
We
talk
haven't
this
heard
year.
much about the
Yeah.
is the Wonderlic still a thing?
Yeah.
They still take it, the S2 and other
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
more sort of how quickly your brain reacts to
yeah.
things,
And
not
Purdy
how
did
much
really
you
well,
know.
right?
That's become more.
Didn't Brock
in
go off the
vogue.
charts on that?
Yeah,
Wasn't he
Brock
really
Purdy
smart?
had a really high S2 score,
Mm.
which they say, the S2 people say, predicted his immediate success. Him
State-
coming in
state
as
school.
a rookie in 22 and kind of taking off.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the players. I think we touched on Stribling a little bit, but Romello Height, he looks like third down guy.
He's 42 years old.
Good Lord.
He played. He
was crushing the NIL, wasn't he?
He played for 4 colleges over 6 years,
Yep.
and 6 year was the charm because that's when he got his sacks.
Who doesn't play for 4 colleges over
Who
6
wouldn't
years
want to stay
nowadays?
in college for 6 years? He was the Van Wilder of the NFL draft.
It used to be the joke was, the USC players, they're taking a pay cut to go to the NFL. Now it's
everybody.
it's true.
A lot of
It
guys
is
are.
absolutely true.
A lot of guys are. So is he a guy that's going to be a third down specialist, kick Michael Williams inside and have him be on the outside? And can we think D Ford a little bit in the way he rushes a passer?
Yeah, I mean, he's almost that size. To Matt's point, when Raheem Morris sits down with the scouting staff and says, these are the types of guys that I like, he's liked these smaller, faster guys. So he took Byron Young when he was with the Rams, and then he took Jalen Walker last year when he was head coach of the Falcons, and the 49ers hadn't had anybody that really kind of fits that description. So, I mean, I would say you look at Romello Height and just look at what Byron Young does on the Rams, which is he does a lot of dropping back into coverage for someone who had, 13 sacks last year?
Wow.
It was a huge number. So he's not rushing the passer every time, but they're switching things up. They're making it more varied versus what this team has done in the past, which
They
is
just need something
same
different.
thing
They
each
need
time.
more-
Yeah.
Last year, the 49ers, they invested 3 of their first 5 picks. Well, 5 all on defense, but 3 of the first 5 on defensive linemen. None of those guys are pass rushers. None. Michael Williams, defensive end, not a pass rusher. He's a set the edge and then, as you said, bump inside to rush the passer. They needed a D Ford. They needed somebody who might only play. Well, remember when Alden Smith was drafted?
Yep.
He didn't start a game his rookie year, but he had like 14 and a half sacks. He was in on third downs. So I would think if Romello Height is not in the lineup or on the field for that first passing situation against the Rams in Australia, that's going to be a disappointment.
I don't know what their options are for like a fast edge rusher because they really didn't address it at all in free agency. Obviously, they have so much banking on Bosa's ACL comeback, Michael Williams comeback, Keon White's comeback from getting shot in the ankle at a Super Bowl after party like we all do. It's
I hate when that happens.
right.
I hate it.
But I mean, the only other guy they brought in was Cam Sample, who was a great first name, but he was a backup for the Bengals for 4 years. And it's like, that's what you had 20 sacks last year. You had the worst total in the league. What are you doing? So I'd imagine that Raheem Morris is going to, like Matt's saying, he's going to be a lot more aggressive and unpredictable than just lining up in the wide 9 where the teams are going to throw a screen over you or wait and go underneath you.
Well, Bosa takes care of like a lot of that just by putting him on the field.
But even they had 20 sacks last year. Let's just say Bosa gets his usual 14. I think he had 2, I think, when he left. So let's just add 14 to
Yeah,
20.
but
That's 34 sacks.
Yeah,
that's
but
still not enough.
I know, but look here, you can't do that in my estimation.
I
Because
can do anything I want.
Well, no,
Tom.
you
This is
can't.
fantasy
In fact,
football.
you're my guest. You can do whatever you want, even though you're completely wrong. So my point is, you put him on there. Not only is he going to get his, he's going to help other guys get more because they're going to be paying attention to him. That's where I think his value is. I've always said this, and it's true in football. It's true in basketball. The great players, and I don't know if I'd classify Bosa as great yet. He hasn't been healthy enough to be great, but the dominant players make everybody else's job easier. Yeah. Like I learned that out when I was playing. When you took Timmy, Mitch, and Chris off the court, I was like, ooh, these guys are concentrating on me now. That sucks. I don't need that. I don't need the hassle. I need one of these guys on the court. It makes it a lot easier for me. Bosa will make it easier for everybody on that defensive line. So just by putting him out there, I think their line is going to be better.
But like he's been around for 6-7 years, and they haven't found anybody to replicate the D Ford complement on the other side.
Yeah.
They bring guys in, it just never develops the way that like guys will get like 5 sacks and like, oh, great. And it's really on Nick, and everybody can kind of double team Nick. So I get it. They had to overhaul it. So they got a younger defensive front now. I'm curious to see, like, hopefully Dre Greenlaw stays healthy, and this isn't like a ceremonial 1-year retirement. Hey, thanks for signing the contract. Good to see Freddie, because if he's on the field, it's a different defense. It gets that edge back, that bully ball of this guy might just go crazy. And like, they haven't had that on defense in a long time.
No, it's definitely been a while. Black, the running back out of Indiana. Who would have thought people would be going on a run of Indiana guys? Like, what? Like, that's the most, if you'd have told me, I always say this. If I tell my grandparents, wake them up from their eternal sleep and go, look at the cell phone, they'd be like, what is that? What, are you kidding me? It's only like 3 years ago. If you'd have said, hey, Indiana's going to be number 1 now, you'd have been, what are you talking about? It's only 3 years from now. Like, that happened. And now the 49ers have like 4 Indiana guys.
And they might have freaked out that they got another running back in the 3rd round too. Once you show them, what
like,
again?
Like every Niner fan, again. Come on, Kyle.
He was another guy that everybody's like freaking out about.
Yes.
Like, why are they taking this guy? This guy was supposed to be way up here, and now he's down here. And what are the Niners doing? I think to go along with Stribling, like it all like added up to like, what are these guys doing? What does he bring to the table? Like, what do you think the Niners like about him that made them draft him in the 3rd round? They're 3rd round running back for the Niners just makes me laugh all the time.
4th, 5th.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that I mean, if I'm going to criticize something about a draft that I really don't know a lot about, because it's all rests on the future, that's the one that I criticize, because he doesn't seem to stand out in any way. And this team has done a great job of drafting running backs late and drafting running backs after the draft. So some of their best players, Matt Breida, Alfred Morris back in the Washington days.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yes, exactly.
Mitchell was a 6th rounder.
Yes, Mitchell was a 6th rounder. So that they do very well when they, they don't have to use a top pick. So this was a big question mark in my mind, because the track record is such that these guys invariably get beaten out by guys who are taken after them. You can pair up every middle round running back with somebody that they took later that year. Let's just go with Joe Williams in the 4th round in 2017.
Showed up in
the same year that Breida came in, undrafted. Breida was like better than him from jump. And then Joe Williams is out of the league the next year. So there's something like that happens every time. I don't know who's going to beat out Kalen Black, but history suggests that he will get beaten out at some point.
Well, if I was the Niners, what I would do is just not take any more running backs. That they can't beat him out.
Now I wonder why that is. Because is it Bobby Turner? Like, is he so persuasive? You know, he's the running backs coach, legendary coach, like on the same level as Bob McKittrick, the old offensive line coach, and he does so much pre-draft prep, and he talks to these guys, constantly texting, constantly calling all of them. And so I wonder if they put that much credence into what he says. But also, you know, after that day 2, they took Romello Height at 70 and Kalen Black at 90. Yeah. And they still hadn't picked an offensive lineman. And they have a dramatic, urgent, obvious opening in left guard. And when I asked John Lynch about that after, he said, we stayed true to our board. And I'm going, you should have reached for somebody else at another position, because that's what a reach is, right? A reach is when you're going not to the best player on your board, but you're going to a player at another position.
Mhm.
So, but and how they stacked him, and now 90, that's, we're talking late in the third round. So is there that much difference between a player taken at 90 and a player taken at 120? I don't know. I mean, it's around, but they clearly have a plan for him that they think, and I know he's, he checks all the box. I don't know if he was a gold helmet guy or not, but
he blocks in the backfield.
He does all the little, he does the things.
Frank Gore blocked great too. Okay,
Well,
here's my thing: is
If he's
why
Frank Gore, it's a great pick.
there's a reason that they went with a wide receiver and a running back, because in 2 years you're not going to have Mike Evans, and you're probably not going to have Christian McCaffrey. Okay, so they've gone all through all these running backs every year, hoping that this is going to be the guy. And then they see the guy and they're like, I'm not sure if he's the guy. And Kyle came out on Saturday and said, oh, he's got starting running back potential. And it's like, does he? Oh, okay. Like I assume all the other draft picks should have had starting running back potential too. So I got to think it's more representative of it's a CYA in case McCaffrey goes down, because he played 413 snaps last year, and every single start he did great, almost 1,000 guy again. So the odds of him replicating that is non-existent. So you're trying to make sure that you have insurance behind him, and Jordan James could be it, but like, how often do they go through 3-4 running backs? So now you find a guy that you really like. Okay, you've looked at all the running backs. Bobby Turner surely has endorsed this guy if he's like one of the top running backs drafted, and then you roll with it and you just trust him.
But I don't think that you should base your draft board on where you have needs. No. I think it's you base your draft board on who are the best players.
Yeah,
because what might feel like a need, or let's put it this way, what might feel like a position where you're super deep today, like 2 weeks down the line, it could be a weakness.
Like
so you just take the best players.
But I always wondered about this with football, because if the best player on the board is a center, let's say I took a center the year before and he made a Pro Bowl. I mean, I think we've all made Pro Bowls before, so it's not a big deal to make a Pro Bowl anymore.
Pro Bowl games.
But let's say he was really good. Why would you draft a center to back up another center? Like, football is different in that way. In basketball, I can put like two centers out there if I have to. I can put 2 point guards out there if I have to. Baseball, I can get two right field. Baseball's different because it takes 5 years to get there anyway. But football is different to me because I can't. It sounds good, and everybody says that, right?
I would say this. I would say, like, for the example you're giving, I think that you'd probably only take a center, or you'd have a center drafted or put on your board really high if he also is a really good guard. He could play, he could fill a couple of holes there.
Well, what about, because I look at it like I think it takes longer to develop offensive linemen unless you're all of a sudden drafting a no doubt super stud, and that you're getting a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
So if you're drafting at 27, you're not going to get like an instant starter. And the way Forster describes it, he's like, oh, use your high picks on a skill position guy, because it's going to take me a while to get these guys up to where their hands need to be, how they have to shuffle their feet. And so it's like they've never convinced themselves that an offensive lineman, an interior guy, is worth using a high pick. I mean, you're absolutely right. The left guard is a very important spot, but you also have Trent Williams next to him, and that's a pretty good guy, a wingman to have next to you. Whoever's going to be playing, dude. I think I could survive a few snaps in the NFL if I had Trent Williams next to me.
You get killed. We'd be scraping you up off the grass.
I played center at Kennedy Junior High in Cupertino.
You would die.
Snapped the ball over the quarterback head twice. I was really bad.
Afraid
It's the equivalent of going through a bar to get a beer and having Tom Tolbert in front of you.
Oh yeah, you just get mowed over.
Pave the way.
I got leverage.
Beer.
Remember the old Jack in the Box commercials with the little guy out there with the big helmet?
Yeah.
That'd be you. That'd be out there next to Trent Williams. And be oh my God. No, I think you guys spend way more time around Kyle than I do, but do you think Kyle feels like we can coach these guys up. We don't need to spend high picks on offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's their philosophy. I mean, this was a vintage Kyle Shanahan 49ers draft where they went after a receiver that, some people are saying is a reach. Remember in 2018, they went up to get Dante Pettis in the second round. Nobody thought that Ricky Pearsall 2 years ago was a first rounder.
Jalen Hurd he panned out great.
He being that, they did the mid round running back, and then they used their fourth and fifth round picks on offensive linemen. So this draft should not have surprised anybody. This is what they do. The question is, should this be what they do? I mean, the question should be, do they need to self-scout and say, you know what, we've been going about the draft like this, and we really haven't had a great draft in a while. When do we switch things up?
Yeah.
And obviously, from their reaction, they're not even close to any sort of self-doubt in that regard.
Well, were you guys on this? Because when it comes right down to it, I don't really care that much about how they draft, who they draft. How good is the team? And they've been really good, aside from injuries. I mean, they've been to a couple Super Bowls. They've been to the playoffs. They've had big seasons. So, I mean, you can bitch and complain all you want about the draft. And I know I love it when the fans go, well, if they drafted better,
our guy Josh McKay bringing in food
then
here,
they would have been even better. They would have put themselves in an even better position to get to a Super Bowl, which I mean, I don't know how you argue that, but
are these props or is that for eating?
No, that's for eating.
This is like college game
Josh,
day on a Saturday
what do we
in
have here,
Tuscaloosa.
Josh, owner proprietor of McKays, Josh McKay. Go ahead and tell us what we have here.
This end, we got a vegetarian halloumi sandwich.
That's for Tom.
Not me.
In the middle, the jammin' burger.
Oh, yeah, that's probably me.
Monster. Chicken ranch flatbread.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. Look at all
Cali
this stuff.
cheesesteak. Why is it Cali cheesesteak? Because it's tri-tip.
Oh, wow.
Monster.
Hey, look at that.
As well as a garden fresh margarita.
Oh, the
flatbread
margarita
as
is
well.
nice.
Balsamic.
Nice.
Margarita is nice.
Well, thank you.
Please enjoy,
Thank you,
guys.
Josh. I appreciate
any
it.
more pops?
I will take one. I'll take. I'll take that. The ghost that you're telling me about.
To answer your question,
Yeah.
I think I remember what your question was.
Come
No,
on,
if he
man,
remembers
you're
the
a buzzkill.
question,
If I
that's
had an
amazing.
answer, my
That's
guy-
amazing that he remembered the question.
My
Virginia.
colleague Vic Tafer was interviewing a head coach at the combine, and Vic's question was, "Would you guys be interested in trading for Mac Jones?" And the answer from the head coach was, "We would if Kyle Shanahan was part of the equation on that." the inference being that under Kyle Shanahan, Mac Jones is going to look a lot better than maybe he actually is. So that's my answer to your question, is that
Candlestick.
that they're winning a lot of games despite injuries and despite issues and despite maybe some mediocre drafts because they're being coached up well.
My philosophy on the Niners, how they've compiled their roster, is the draft is a big con. It is. Everybody gets excited about the draft, and think about their roster. That some of their best players have come. Some have come from the draft. A lot of them have come from trades, and the trades are acquired by using draft picks. Right? You get Trent Williams, you get Christian McCaffrey, Garoppolo, Emmanuel Sanders. Now you got Odigizua.
Yep.
But I think it's smart. I mean, because you're not going to have these guys long. Maybe you do, and like you can retain them, like you've done with Trent Williams, or you give them a private jet. But it's just they want proven guys at certain positions, and then they try to use. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Josh.
So, I mean, that's how I look at it. Is yes, they always say we got to use the draft to. That's how you build your team. That's how you keep your own players. That's how you get homegrown talent. And they do. They reward the guys that they hit on. Obviously, every team misses, but you also have to supplement that through trades and free agency. And free agency is a stupid gamble because if you're a free agent, the other team did not want you. So I think the only way to build a team is through trades and drafts.
Well, look, I mean, Fred Warner, 3rd rounder. Greenlaw, we can use him as an example again because he's back, 5th rounder. George Kittle, 5th rounder. Pearsall, end of the 1st round. Was Lenore a 2nd rounder?
5th.
Fifth round. Oh, fifth round. Geez, I was way off
The
on
fifth
that one.
round's the money round.
McKivitz 5th round.
They should just trade everything away for fifth rounders. Then, is
Exactly.
what
They tried
should-
that. They got 2
what they
fifths
should-
this
so,
I
year.
thought you were
mean-
going to start with the fifth rounders to be like, okay, let's talk about the most important guys
I
first.
mean, I think they've done like, look, you're not where you're at if you're not drafting well enough. And then it's not all about the draft. It's about how you do in free agency. It's about trades that you make. I mean, look at Trent Williams comes over in a trade. McCaffrey comes over in a trade. Did they get fortunate with Purdy? Of course they did. I mean, he's your 7th rounder. It's like you struck gold with that one. There's gold in them hills, Jerry.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
gold,
I mean,
Jerry.
they made the trade for Trey Lance, and I think everybody thought,
Which I didn't mind, by the way.
If
They made a trade for a quarterback.
You know what?
And it
I
turned out
hate-
to be trade lane.
I hated it after the fact. Like after 2
Sure.
years, I go, that trade
but
sucked.
I think when that trade was made,
Way to go out
and
on a
you
limb.
you knew that they were going to take a quarterback. The idea was if that quarterback fails, you set the franchise back 6 years. The quarterback position
Yep.
is going to really suffer. Then a year later, it's like, oh, they did not hit on that quarterback, but the quarterback position is okay. It's just the other positions that are weaker because of that trade, not the quarterback
Yeah.
position. It's the other positions. And so that's why, in the 3rd round of 2023, it was Jair Brown.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then you look at it, I looked at this yesterday. It's like, okay, who's the safety they should have taken there? There wasn't. Nobody after the fact. Now, the next year, or I guess it was the year before. I'm sorry. I think the year before was Drake Jackson.
Yeah.
That one, there was only one guy they should have taken that they missed on, and who went a couple of spots later, Nick Benito. So that would have
Okay.
been a much better pick. But when you're trading back and you're giving up those picks to get the quarterback, but also to get Christian McCaffrey, you're giving up some of your picks. You're giving up the bulk of your draft, which is why the 2022 draft, the 2023 draft and the 24 draft were bad.
Yeah.
They would have misdrafted anyhow.
Would they have reached?
I'm just,
Well, the Trey Lance one, they didn't have an option. I mean, now that you look back on it, there is
Yeah.
no quarterback they could have drafted that
Mac
everybody would have.
Jones.
If it-
Oh,
no.
wow.
Or not trade up at all and take Mac Jones.
They could have.
Yeah.
that's
They
right.
could have.
No, I went back and looked at the 2017 draft grades when the first year was Shanahan. They got A+ from everybody. Going, oh, they massaged us so great. They went from 2 to 3, and they picked up all these extra picks. They got their guy Solomon Thomas. They got Reuben
Solomon
Foster later in the
Thomas.
first round. And you know who was else? I think later in that first round was TJ Watt. That guy turned out to be pretty good.
Do you remember
Patrick Mahomes.
Do you remember?
And Patrick Mahomes, 10,
Yeah.
which John Lynch, after the fact, kind of said, hey, I thought this guy was pretty good at Pro Day. We should take another look at him. That came out like years later. It's like,
Were you in the at the Marriott in Indianapolis in that combine draft, and a very well-known defensive coordinator came in and he started talking to us, and he just
Fangio?
ran, and this was what was it, 2 months or 6 weeks before the draft, and he said Stanford has a player, a defensive lineman,
Yeah.
who is going to be like, he will definitely be a top 10 pick. Solomon Thomas, this guy, he'll be the first defensive player in the first round taken from Stanford. So it wasn't
and that
like,
defensive coordinator was at the pro day,
Yeah.
right?
He was
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
I
there.
thought you were going to say David Bailey, who was at Stanford and went number 2 this year.
He did.
but I'm just saying, like, they were going to take him number 2. They traded back one spot and got him. So at the time, like a lot of people in the league thought that Solomon Thomas was the pick.
They do a good job of saving themselves after making terrible picks. So 2017, they Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster early on, but then in the 5th round, they get this Iowa tight end named George Kittle that everybody had written off. But you see that throughout the last 10 years. They trade up to get Trey Lance and then take a flyer on some Iowa State kid the next year.
Yeah.
It's just like what I was saying about the running back situation. They blow a 3rd round pick on a running back, but then they end up getting Jordan Mason after the draft in free agency. So they're the kings of screwing up the easy shot, but then like nailing the flailing 3-pointer as they're going out of
There's something to be said
bounds.
about that, because I feel like you know, I broke up with my college girlfriend, and I moved to Pleasanton and found my wife right away. And like,
Wow.
you know, it all works out for a good reason.
Even Steven
I don't
over
think
here.
she would say that. but-
No, that's her fault.
You know why I hate Solomon Thomas?
Oh, hate's a strong
I
word.
don't know.
I mean, sports hate.
Oh, sports hate.
You ever see Bad Beats?
Yeah. Oh, is this
You,
Carolina?
you notice he's part of Bad Beats against UCLA when he picks up the ball. Josh Rosen fumbles it and he picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown at the end
So
of the
why,
game.
why don't you hate Josh Rosen?
Well, I hate him
Yeah.
too,
Okay.
but Thomas was
Former
one that picked it up.
49er legend Josh Rosen.
I had UCLA in that game. Son of a bitch. All of a sudden, I see Solomon Thomas running at the end of the game. Like, what's he running for? I go, he has the football. What the hell just happened? And I was like, getting 4. They're going to win. All you got to do is recover the fumble. No, ran it back, won by 9. I'm like, or
Is
whatever it
Josh
was. I'm like,
taking away
you
our
got to be
food?
kidding me.
Oh, yeah, what?
Yeah.
Is he gonna?
He just took it. He said, here you go. Nope, sorry. You don't get your
At
food.
least he kept my beer
Yeah,
intact.
that's the main thing. That's absolutely the main thing.
You know, that the Solomon Thomas pick that's a pretty weird pick when you look back over 10 years, because he's kind of a hybrid guy. Like they thought he was going to be Aaron Donald. He came nowhere near it. And obviously he went through personal tragedy a year later with his sister, but it's just, he never, like, we went to the Stanford Pro Day and you look at him and he doesn't come off this aura of, this guy's going to be like DeForest Buckner when they drafted him. You saw right away, this guy is going to be an all pro stud defensive lineman. And I think like Solomon Thomas has forged out a decent career, but he no way should have been a
He wasn't very
pick.
big. I was surprised by that.
He was a tweener.
He comes up and talks to us after the pro day, and this is
Barrows is
after,
eye to eye with him.
this is a
God.
I'm
Holy
like doing
cow.
the thing on his forehead, and he's swinging, and he's not reaching. It was bad. But yeah, it struck us that this guy looks bigger when you watch him on TV, and right up close, he wasn't big at
But
all.
didn't you feel the same way about Bosa?
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
Hey, I saw Bosa.
Bosa was
we were
like
in
from the-
Pittsburgh, and we had field passes, and I
Yeah.
saw him. He was like warming up next to us. I go, good Lord.
Well,
This guy.
the quads.
Oh, the quads. I mean, the whole body was just like, it didn't surprise me that he gets hurt because
well,
it looks like he's wound like super tight, like every muscle fiber you can
But he
see.
knows
It's
every
like,
single muscle fiber too.
yeah,
Yeah.
do you think that that's the explanation for ACLs? Is that the legs and the muscles are oversized? They're almost grotesque, and so they're putting
There's so many women
They're
and people
putting-
you just offended by saying he's grotesque.
they're putting pressure on regular ligaments that are the same ones as me and Cam, but the muscles are so much bigger. That's my scientific.
Well, I think that- here's what I
explanation for
think.
ACL.
I think in football and basketball, the
Thank you,
athletes
Josh.
are so finely tuned now. Like they're in much better shape than they used to be, right? They have all the nutritional help they could ever ask for. They have all the weight training help they could ever ask for. They have more knowledge than we used to have back when we were playing. And their bodies are just like, you look at them and go, good night. These guys are like just put together. But I also think when something goes wrong, kind of like a Ferrari, like a little something goes wrong, you're in the shop.
Look at
Got to take you to the shop.
look at Trent Williams. Okay,
Yep.
like this guy's a marvel. How athletic he is, a big dude. And I want to get a former professional athlete's point of view of this. So you and Josh are the only former professional athletes here in the backyard. Okay,
Yep.
the guy's made more money than anybody that's not a quarterback in the NFL. Like he is like a
Why
legitimate
did it make that much
businessman.
money? I don't know why you're
I
asking.
know,
me
but
that.
I'm just like, as a professional athlete, like, does that blow you away? Like how he's able to like game the system, or like how, like, I guess he obviously had leverage with what he was doing, but like,
yeah.
it's pretty
He's
amazing.
also
like,
not a bad player
no,
at a
Trent Williams?
position of need.
Yeah, he's okay.
At a premium position.
like but he's like the NFL's ultimate businessman. How he was able to leverage himself into like every 2 years get a new contract where he can fly around on a private jet.
Well, I think it's not only him. He has good people giving him good advice, where there's a lot of people out there that get crappy advice from people. But although it didn't take someone with intimate knowledge of the 49ers to realize they ain't got anybody behind him. Like, of course he knew that.
Yeah.
You guys are going to pay me.
Right.
Stop screwing around. We're going to do it eventually because, well, who's my replacement? Nobody. I mean, Barrows apparently was his replacement. He's like, I'm as big as Solomon Thomas. I can get out there and
Well,
play
it's
a little
about
bit.
arm length, and obviously I
Long levers.
excel in that area.
Would he the Reuben Bain Jr. of the offensive line?
Well,
The T-Rex.
the thing with Trent Williams is that he became the best at his position in an era where the college game stopped churning out offensive tackles.
Yeah.
So the timing, to Cam's point, is really great financially for him because there are no replacements for him.
Yeah. Anything we need to know about the rest of the draft class?
Well, Enrique Cruz Jr. is maybe his eventual replacement.
Okay.
He's the last pick.
He would be the
athletic. He ran under 5 second 40 at 313 pounds.
That's moving.
Yeah, it
That
is
is
moving.
moving.
And then I think it was Lynch said something I'd never heard before. He said that his 20 time was faster than anybody else's. I'd never heard 20 time
That's
as a
important,
measure.
apparently.
For offensive linemen, I guess.
But like
You
you're
think
gonna,
the 10-yard? You think the 10-yard split?
he
would be
said
the one.
20.
I would think
Yeah.
for an offensive tackle, it'd be a 2-yard split. Like
Well, for a zone blocking offensive tackle, maybe 20 yards is
maybe. Well,
where
Trent
they're
did go
going.
in motion once in Lambeau, like when he was.
Yeah, it was
was pretty
it was
good.
illegal motion.
That was a scary.
That was illegal
oh
motion.
yeah, he was heading towards the line of scrimmage.
That's
Yeah,
scary
that
if you're
didn't
getting
work
hit
out.
with that.
right.
See Trent Williams have some momentum coming. Oh, that's just
The
scary.
Packers were pissed. I remember that.
All right, let's talk about the team heading into camp and going to next year and where you kind of see this team. Last year, I thought they'd be really good because of the last place schedule.
Yeah.
Thought that would help. It did, but then they got hurt and they couldn't take full advantage of it, but it still went 12 and 5.
Tom, they took full advantage of it. They went into week 18 playing for the number.
Yeah, I
one
guess
seed.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They did because without that schedule and the injuries, they probably would have been toast at some point. This year they get what, third place schedule?
Yeah.
They get it. Yep.
Not bad, and they get the guys back. How do you see this year's team? Tough division. I mean, you got the defending champs. You got the Rams, who are probably the second best team in the league last year. Toss up. I mean, do you favor one over the other?
They start out in a different hemisphere, which they don't love.
Well, see, that's going to be
Oh, I
like
thought you meant as the hierarchy of the NFL.
No,
they are going to be in the lower
They're
hemisphere.
definitely in
of
the
it.
lower hemisphere to begin with.
So that is going to be like the mental challenge. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to be crying about this
Exactly.
for a
Well,
month?
the
This-
Rams
this-
are too, though.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
they
the
don't
Rams
they
haven't
don't
been doing
sweat it like the 49ers do. The 49ers freak out over these things like, oh, how many
We have 3
away
road
games do we have in
Yeah.
a row? How many short week games do we have? How many games are we playing teams coming off their bye? They worry about that stuff. And all of a sudden, the longest trip ever in the NFL is sitting there to begin the season. So the NFL did not do them any favors. And the rumor at the owners meeting in Phoenix earlier was that the Rams specifically asked the NFL for the 49ers to be there.
Kyle
opponent.
said as much, right?
Yeah, Kyle said as much.
Well, wouldn't you if you were the Rams? I don't begrudge them. I'd be like, that's smart on their part.
It's brilliant on their
Sure.
part. And they're going to do 2 totally different things. The Rams are just going to parachute
Parachuting,
in
yeah.
right before the game, and the 49ers are going 10 days early. So it'll be a nice test
Oh
of
my gosh,
philosophies.
Mayoko.
Oh,
The
God.
dingo ate Matt,
no.
Matt's baby.
We need to clean up on aisle 16.
Clean up. Do we have a hose? Do we have a hose for him? Good Lord.
I think that that Australia trip is like it's a landmark event for them and like the whole NFL.
Walk on your mic here. Daniel.
But I mean, like then you have to get past it. And you're like, all right, well, so what else is ahead? So obviously, like, and you bring it up, like Seattle and LA, NFC Championship game. Like, which team is going to take a step back? Like, I would think, I don't think Seattle is going to be in it for the long haul. Like, I think Sam played great, but that defense was amazing. Can they do that again? Like, they didn't have a lot of injuries. I thought LA has a really good defense. And then Stafford's going to be pissed off that they drafted a young quarterback in the first round. But like, what did that do with Aaron Rodgers when they got Jordan Love, right? Didn't he lose to the Niners in the playoffs? It's like, it's more like, there's other things that go into it. The Niners, to me, like this is like a big year because they have so many offensive stars.
I just want to watch Mayoka clean himself up.
Yeah.
I've
I've done that. I've been doing that for 25 years, watching Mayoka
entertainment.
clean himself up. It's not. It never.
Oh, I
it's never
thought you were
complete.
I thought you were going to say
Usually it's a little bit
you've been
later
cleaning.
today.
You've been cleaning him up for 25.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's been a good wingman. Yeah.
Okay, so
but just to
Go
answer
ahead.
your question,
Yeah.
I think it's clear. I think when you look at the league and the NFC, I think it's very clear. It's Seattle and the Rams, and then the others, including the 49ers.
But the others is because like people are saying the Bears, which would like a year ago was the Lions, and the year before that it was the Packers, and then everybody like dismisses the NFC East, and it was like, wait, the Eagles won this like 2 years ago. It's like they're going to get rid of AJ Brown, a big distraction. So are they back in the fold here? So and like the Cowboys always just fall on their face, which is tremendously impressive. But they do have D Winters now, so
they do have D Winters, absolutely. So I'm a big fan of Petty. Like Petty's fun to watch from afar, and it seems like the Niners,
Not Richard Petty.
not
king,
Richard Petty.
the king.
I didn't watch him, but I know who he is. If the Niners get their way, it seems like Petty is going to rule the day, right? Because they want to play the Rams in Mexico. They're like, hey, they picked us. We want to pick them, which I thought was pretty funny when Kyle said
I think
that.
that he was just being a sarcastic Shanahan. I think there's no
You
way.
think so?
There's no way the NFL would do that.
They wouldn't?
No,
Not a chance.
but they blocked the Raiders.
it would be funny though.
They blocked the Raiders and the Broncos because they don't want they want that Raiders game here.
Yep.
They don't want the Broncos with the mile high advantage there.
There's no way the 49ers want the Rams. Not a chance. It's fun to talk about, but why, if you're the 49ers,
Would you give up a home game?
would you give up a home game
Yeah.
against a team that, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So you don't have those 10 Rams fans in the stands.
Yeah.
You get rid of them.
Whose house?
I mean, it makes sense from the Rams standpoint, right? Because the Niners take over
if you're the
every single time.
if you're the Rams, let's go play in Mexico City. They would love that because I mean it's an hour closer flight for them too.
It's 350 miles closer.
So, and we had heard at the owners meeting that the Dolphins might be the team in Mexico City, which means Malik Willis, like the quarterback from Green Bay.
Yeah, you play them
via
anywhere, you're
Tennessee.
probably okay.
He's
So,
never lost in Mexico as the starting quarterback.
0-0.
unlike Alex Smith.
Oh, Alex.
Alex lost.
Oh, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Niners got their. I
Start
mean,
that game.
at least they got 2 games from their standpoint. Maybe not. I don't know. I was going to say from their standpoint, they got 2 international games in 1 year, so at least they're taken care of for a while.
They
Are you
get
saying
out
they
of
don't
the
look at
way.
it that way?
Well, I think they will probably go to Colorado Springs the week before the Mexico
Yep.
City game. So they bring some of this kind of travel burden onto themselves. I mean, I would think that the better approach is to not think about it, not stew about it, and do what the Rams did when they went to London recently. They went in the day before and then kicked the Jaguars' butt and came home. And that was it.
The Niners are going to try to spin this into everybody wants to see us, so we have to be on an international stage. So we're kind of a big deal. So like that's going to be their positive spin on it.
That
to
was
try to
Tom's pitch to be right here.
That's
in
right.
McKays.
he's kind of a big deal. Tom's like, I can conquer Pleasanton. I can shove
Yeah.
Cam to the shadows
There you
under
go.
the bamboo, and it doesn't matter.
You didn't see I got my posters up. I'm running for fake mayor. I'm
Fake
going to try to
mayor.
take your
You
job.
have coasters,
Yeah.
not
I was gonna
posters, but
say,
you do
I
have coasters.
I do have coasters.
Show the
Yes, I
coasters.
do. We do have coasters. We have koozies. We got all kinds
You
of
got
stuff.
koozies?
Oh yeah, right there.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we'll give you a free koozie on the way out.
We'll put that my
Wow, koozie.
non-alcoholic beer, please.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. So yeah, I agree with you, Matt. That like once a schedule is a schedule, it's like who cares? Just go on with it.
I think
Just
a lot of the 49ers, they're trying to set they're trying to put pressure on the NFL to get a favorable schedule because there was 2 years in a row where it's like minus 21 as far as rest days.
Yep.
And so they tried to put pressure on the NFL to like bring awareness to that so that it would look like they were getting screwed every time. And then last year they had a favorable schedule until the final 3 weeks of the season, I think, or 4 weeks. when they're playing on short weeks due to the flex scheduling
Yeah.
in the playoffs. So I think they're hammering home, like, see the injustice just to make the NFL aware that then, it's complaining about a call in the first quarter, hoping you'll get that call later on because you're bringing that to everybody's attention.
Yeah.
They're always going to have an injustice. They're on the West Coast. They're always going to be one of the teams that travel the most.
And then-
you can complain about it every year.
Oh, and they will.
And who's the reigning champion and who travels more than the Niners?
Exactly.
Seattle.
Exactly.
So get over it.
The Harbaugh-led 49ers never complained about it. Although the one game on Thanksgiving against the Ravens, there was a complaint because they didn't get to practice at all that week. That was a Thursday game in Baltimore.
I believe they gave up 9 sacks that game.
Yeah, it was one of like 3 losses that year. I think that was the 2012 year.
Yeah, they didn't complain about travel, but they couldn't get plays in on time. So I don't know. You tell me what you want. I mean, I hate that year. They drove me nuts.
The Super Bowl?
Nuts. Go get in the plays, please.
Take a hike.
Just get in the play.
Oh,
Just please.
God.
It's not that hard. Jeez. And I'm still convinced. I'm convinced no one's going to convince me otherwise that if they didn't call the timeout in the Super Bowl against the Ravens, Kaepernick scores on that.
Oh,
sweep.
yeah.
And then they never went back to the play. They're like, well, I guess they know it's coming, so we're not going to run it again. Let's see, just throw fades over and over again. I was like, I don't know.
I thought that play should be outlawed forever in Niner history of throwing the fade,
Fade?
to the right side.
You didn't like it like 18 times
But,
in
like,
a row, like just keep
Not
throwing
only that,
it.
but not
It's
only
got to
that,
work this
not
time,
only that
doesn't it?
Super Bowl, it was also in Seattle when Crabtree was the intended target, and they
got
got
picked off.
Yeah, I think that's run its course.
Yeah.
Crabtree couldn't throw left. That was the scouting report on him. Just to take away the left side of the field.
Was that
He could run left.
wait? Was that MC Hammer's scouting report on Crabtree?
That's a Mayoko story.
Now the big question.
Wait.
Okay.
Matt's got story. We have stories, Tom.
Well, I would give them to me. I want stories.
We got lots of like inside stories.
Okay,
This
well,
is
let's
what you get
go.
for having guys that've been around for
Let's
20
go
years.
then.
Tell the Crabtree MC Hammer story.
Well, this was in the early days of Twitter. It was like Twitter was like a year old or something, and I found out that Crabtree's agent in the 49ers, remember, he held out for the first 7 games of that season, and I found out where they were meeting, and so I went. It was the Doubletree in East Palo Alto, and which it's better than it sounds. Trust me.
Well, it wouldn't have to be that good.
It's now Facebook's headquarters.
And so I'm in the lobby, like kind of hanging out and seeing what's going on. And I see Crabtree come in with a guy that I make a mental note, like the MC Hammer looking guy that's with Crabtree. And this went on, all day long. And at one point I went up to the guy who looked a lot like MC Hammer, and I, introduced myself, and I said, "What's your name?" And he kind of like,
Did he go Stanley?
Kind of gave me the
it's Leroy
kinda
Burrell,
the
right?
head nod and didn't say anything. And then several hours later, I think I got word the manager of the hotel came in or something and said, "Hey, the reason you're here, they're all gone. They left out the back door." And like, okay. And then I started to think, like, God, that guy who looked like MC Hammer, that might have actually been MC Hammer. And so I said to one of the people who worked at that hotel, I go, "Hey, that guy Crabtree is with, is his name MC Hammer?" And the guy was like, no. And I go, "Oh, Stanley Burrell?" And it was, yeah, that's him. It was MC Hammer.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
but he helped close the deal, didn't he?
he did help close the deal. Now, the postscript to this is several years later. And I wrote about this, right? Like I even said, like when I introduced myself to him, when I asked him who his name was, he kind of tilted his head back and, I was like, oh, I should have known who he was. And so now we're talking several years later, and I run into him, not because we necessarily run in the same circles, but it was.
I wouldn't guess so.
Yeah.
There's a breakdance
so
competition on the street. And
Matt used to be in rap videos back in the day.
My
You
wife.
wear the big baggy
You
pants.
put the cardboard
Shimmy back
down
and
and do a
forth.
little.
my wife sees him. She goes, "Oh my gosh, it's Hammer." And I go, I might know him, but I'm not sure. And so I go up to him and I was like, I'll see if, whatever. I go up to him and I go, hey, Hammer. Hey, I just want to introduce myself.
You dropped a hammer on him?
Yeah, absolutely. Drop
He
the
sees,
hammer
he
on him.
sees E40. He's like, "What's up, 40?"
So
It's all full circle now.
So I said, hey, my name is Matt Mayoko. And he goes, I know who you are. And I go, oh, he goes, this was years later. He goes, what you wrote about me? That was not right. You're like, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did I write? I go, and he went ahead and quoted the blog I wrote word for word. And then he says, got to remember, I'm a rapper. Rappers don't forget.
But what was wrong?
It wasn't a threat, but it was like he was like, my memory, like I remember this stuff. Damn it, if I didn't go back that night and reread what I wrote, and he had it down to the word, to like what I had written years earlier, he remembered it to the word. And it was on Twitter, and I like DM'd him or something. I was like, hey, it's nice meeting you tonight. I hope we're cool. And he's like, we're cool.
What did you get wrong?
It was. I mean, I didn't.
Cool, man.
I didn't get anything wrong. I think
I will tell you, Hammer still follows
disagreed
us
with
all
my
on Twitter.
portrayal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what his role was?
Yeah, like
I
or
get it,
not
it's like
just
young,
how he reacted.
local.
Like when I,
Appreciate that.
when I asked him what his name was.
Did this all go down at the DoubleTree in East Palo Alto?
This was
Was this after the fact?
This was at the Palace Hotel. I think it was a 49ers Hall of Fame thing, but it was great. I mean, like I was blown away how he remembered all, like what I had written. So
let me ask you guys,
Okay.
kind of similar vein.
Similar vein.
Have we
How
ever
could that
hung?
be
I do have a hotel story with.
Okay,
it.
I want
Yeah.
you to get to that, but I want to ask you guys before I forget this, because a lot of people read you guys, they consume you guys, but I think the more you do it, like when I was on the radio, somebody come up to me and go, I heard when you said that, go, it always surprised me. Like, I don't know why it surprised me people listen, because that's what I did, but I always kind of did the show for like 4 people in a room, and I was like, oh, you listen? Okay.
Kind of like here.
Yeah, exactly. Nice and intimate.
4 people.
So
in a
you
room.
guys, I mean, people listen to you. Did you ever have a moment where you're surprised, like either a celebrity or somebody came up to you and said something, and it was like, oh, damn, you read me? Wow.
I was in Chicago. The last time they played the Bears, I was in Chicago, and I was just by myself walking down the street, and I see a group of 49ers fans coming up to me, and I see one of them sees my face, and there's an air of recognition in his face. And he's gonna come up to me and say hi to me. And he goes, Matt, and I'm like about to say yes, Mayoko, and I'm like, no, not.
Oh no, what a letdown.
Not even close. I had just gotten kicked in the face by a police horse, and it was kind of messed up. So that's why I think that they made them.
I listen
stuff.
for all the years when we're on the road. Matty gets recognized all the time. There was one time, didn't somebody thought you were Kawakami?
I think that's accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That you have that Japanese last name. You're Kawakami.
There was
in St. Louis.
Oh wait. Although
Okay.
today, like when I was downtown Pleasanton, I went to meet Matt and Malik over here. Malik's a big Niner fan. He spotted Barros and he had lunch with us.
I heard
Malik.
Matt, and I'm like, what? Who knows me in Pleasanton?
He's like, Mayoko, give me a turkey sandwich while you're at it.
Okay, what's your hotel story?
Well, Matt brought up like the whole like staking out a hotel. So before like the internet and everything was going on, back when Mariucci was like in consideration for the Tampa job,
Yep.
right? And so this was like I was like early on in the beat, and I'm like, well, how can I find out if he's like actually? The rumors were he was meeting with the Glazers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers owners in Beverly Hills, and I did my reporting and found out that they're going to be meeting at the Beverly Wilshire, which is famous for the movie Pretty Woman.
Yep.
Right. And so I didn't know that at the time. Anyhow,
Was this a Julia Roberts story? No.
wouldn't that be good? Cam's stories tail off at the end, so I'm going to try to keep it strong at the start.
Tail off at the
In the
Anyhow,
beginning too, apparently.
so I go down to the Beverly Wilshire. I get the company to send me down to the Beverly Wilshire, and I hang out at the bar for like hours waiting for Mariucci to pop through the lobby because he's interviewing with the Glazers upstairs. Well, I eventually see the Glazers coming through the lobby. So like I not drinking, having Diet Cokes like Barros and sitting at their, very respectably. Although the Celtics were in town and the Celtics coach, I forget his name at the time, but you might know it. 2002.
Red Auerbach?
One. No, he was.
Casey Jones.
I think Red was gone.
This is
by
good
then.
NBA knowledge. This is
I
a
think Red
cross
was
story.
gone, 2002.
Anyhow, I miss
could be
Mariucci.
Doc
The Glazers,
Rivers.
the
Maybe
Glazers
not.
get in their car and leave, and I'm like, that failed big time. I go like hang out with my buddy in Manhattan Beach, fly up to the Bay the next day, and when I land in the Bay and I go to the Niners media room, and that's when Terry Donahue comes. Like the news comes out that Gruden has been hired instead of Steve Mariucci. We're like, wait a minute, Mariucci just interviewed with the Bucks last night.
And the 49ers gave him permission, obviously.
Yes, they gave him permission. So like, what the heck happened? You want to take over the story here because you can close this.
Wow, it's a
well.
tag team story.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
how
he was
about
there.
that?
You were there. Yeah.
I was
So-
not there. No.
So,
Okay.
so Terry Donahue just gets out of his car. He comes into the press room, and he thought that
He was unbeknownst to him.
Yeah,
also.
Donahue, and Donahue was ready to move on from Mariucci, that whole thing. And so Terry Donahue comes in, and one of us says, "Oh, did you hear the news? The
Bucks.
the Bucks just hired Gruden," and he goes,
Oh shit! Few minutes pass.
because he was, he wanted.
He wanted him
You
to
want
hire
Mooch God.
Mariucci.
So then about, what do you say, 15,
A
20
few minutes later,
later.
comes back.
Donahue comes back to the press room, and he goes, "Hey, remember when I said,
"Oh shit"?
what I
I
meant
meant was no shit.
Oh, that's funny.
This would have been all over Twitter back in the
That
day.
is
If there was no
funny.
Twitter. It was like the
Yeah.
press room with like no cameras, no cell phones.
Well, he wanted to get rid of Mariucci. I know there's a lot of Niner fans want to get rid of him.
So did John York.
Yeah.
That was one of the most disastrous firings ever. How that unfolded. Like it was, 1 week, Mariucci's in Candlestick's locker room after this big playoff comeback against the Giants. John York is hugging Gail Mariucci. Everybody's celebrating in the locker room. A week later, they get blown out in Tampa, and
Joe Millionaire?
yeah, the night before, was it a Sunday night or whatever? And Mariucci gets a call at his house. He's watching Joe Millionaire
Yeah,
back
Joe
in the
Mil-
day. And John York's hot. I need to meet you in my office the next day. Goes to the office, and second that door closes, ESPN's crawl is Steve Mariucci's been fired as 49er coach before York can tell him. It was not good.
How did it happen before he could tell him?
They had a crisis management person who said, as soon as the door closes, get the word out.
Oh my god!
And so there were assistant coaches who saw like, oh, hold it, Mariucci just got fired. Well, he just went into that office. Gail Mariucci, his wife, shows up at the facility and is waiting in his office
It was really
before he got out of the office. He comes into the office. She had already known.
Wow.
It was very
That was
awkward.
kinda-
yeah.
That was mishandled.
You think? You think?
I will say in the 20 years since then that they've figured things out to an extent.
Ooh.
And thankfully Mooch is still around the Bay because he does so much for all the charities and the bocce tournament every June down
He's
in Los
great.
Gatos. He's as a guy that was breaking in as a beat writer back in 2000, we were allowed to be on the practice field as long as we wanted. So practice would be 2 hours, and I would stay out there as much as I can just to watch and learn. And you had way easier communication with the assistant coaches, players. You could learn so much, where nowadays there's no chance because they're all so paranoid about any information getting out. Okay, you can take roll, see who's breathing and in a uniform, and then get off the field.
Yeah.
That started with Bill Walsh and Jerry McDonald over here from Bay Area News Group. He covered, the 49ers for a long time and was around in that era. Bill wanted the reporters to watch the entire practice because he was so confident in what he was doing
Yeah.
that, there was the code, obviously the reporters
Yeah.
who were in there watching, they weren't going to report on, hey, they're going to throw a halfback pass or anything like that. So all that was off limits, but he wanted the reporters to see how well prepared his team would be so that if things went wrong, everybody would know, like, okay, this is what the plan was. This is what they were trying to accomplish. And so it's going to be very difficult to second guess when you could see what Bill Walsh's plan was for that upcoming game.
The only thing I remember, and you guys bring up John York when he takes over the team, belt buckles, water bottles, and I always got the, you guys know better than I would, but I always, just watching from afar, I always got the feeling, maybe not disinterested, but a guy that really didn't think he'd be owning a football team, really didn't want to own a football team all that much. It was like, well, here you go, run it. And let's put it this way, it wasn't his passion.
I think he ran it like a business. You know, he had the racetracks. I think he ran it like a business for the bottom line. And I would say that, yeah, during that time, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And I think over time they kind of learned. And I think Jed's good, I think, as far as sparing no expense. I mean, they've added how many millions of dollars for the therapy pools, and some of the NFLPA surveys that they've had, which hasn't necessarily painted the 49ers in a good light. And with the staffing and with the facilities this year, they sunk a lot of money into that. So it feels like players now are very satisfied with the commitment from ownership, whereas in those early days that wasn't the case at all.
I think he obviously Jed rose through the ranks, and I think that I mean, I've been around the team for almost 25, 30 years. I really enjoy talking to John because he doesn't want to be out there talking to people, but he's very interesting. I mean, he's a very interesting guy. He doesn't want to be like this Jerry Jones or Biscotti in Baltimore, be the upfront guy. And Jed doesn't either. Like, Jed learned, I think, during the Harbaugh era that it's not good for the owner to be the front facing guy. Yeah. He found the perfect combo in Shanahan and Lynch, and they're successful. This all brings it all back to right now is, these guys are very successful. John has delegated a lot to Jed, and Jed delegates to everybody in business operations, marketing, football ops, roster, coaching, and it's worked out really well. But John still comes around, and I will tell you, 20 years ago, he was so scorned by Niner fans because you're not Eddie. And then Jed became the you're not Eddie. Yeah. And then they started winning, and they're like, oh, you might be Eddie. And but Jed never pretends he is. I mean, it's a very different demeanor. Nobody's Eddie.
He did bring George Kittle some tequila in the locker room.
He did. That was an Eddie move.
Yeah,
that was an Eddie move.
Yeah.
I get the feeling he could be, I don't know if close to Eddie or going toward that if there wasn't a salary cap. Like, I get the feeling this is Jed's passion. Like, he loves the 49ers. He wants to the 49ers
Jed
win a
loves
championship.
Successful business operations. Like right now, they don't go public with their affection for being owners of Leeds, but Leeds is in the Premier League, which is massive. That's a big deal. They're not going to get relegated this year. It's a very interesting product that they're trying to do. And they identified this, I don't know much about Premier League and English soccer, but I do know that they realize that this is a big city in England that only has one team, and most teams have two, that they can control the ownership. There's our guy, Josh McKay. Welcome to the show. What do you think, Josh? How's this going?
I don't know. He's sitting on the mic.
Yeah,
he's literally going to be talking.
That might be
ass.
good. Well, that's way better than what they.
I think PSG and Bayern Munich this afternoon was a phenomenal game to watch. It was 5-4 PSG over.
Oh my God!
Bayern.
Champions League?
A smashing game. It was Champions League semifinals.
How did I miss that?
Go back to Germany. It is going to be an insane return game on the Tide.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I moved to Pleasanton about 30 years ago, there was a young professional soccer player out of Pleasanton named Josh McKay, who's sitting next to me right now. We had similar friends, and we had a friend group. And we always had good interviews, and Josh was a superstar at Richmond in the A-League, got called up to the MLS, Colorado Rapids, made it your way to DC United eventually under what coach?
I got to I got
Bruce
to play
Arena?
with Bruce for a minute.
And Bruce Arena is now
Is
coach of
Currently the coach of San Jose Earthquakes.
the first place San Jose Earthquakes.
First place San Jose Earthquakes.
So it all started with Josh McKay. Thanks to
Hardly.
Yes.
Cam was always very kind in his sentiments towards me.
Yeah,
Thank you
I'm
very
too
much.
kind. I'm not.
Bruce-
I don't have that edge. I'm not a jerk.
And he's
Bruce
got the
Arena
Sweet
was
Testament shirt
Bruce,
on.
Yes.
He loved to, yeah.
Bruce
Testament
Arena
logo.
was
heavy
the
metal.
head coach at UVA when I was there.
Oh, look at
He
that.
was the head coach of UVA and won 5 championships.
Yes, we won some natties when he was
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Yes. He couldn't lose them.
Yes.
Well, thank you for everything. I mean, this is it's been amazing.
I just
No,
saw
we're
an-
not done, but
I
I just
saw an
wanted to let
open
you
seat
know.
and I was going to sit down.
You please do. You own the damn
In fact,
place.
there's food
You
here.
sit down
You should
whenever you
have
want
this.
to
Is
sit
really
down.
good.
You
I
don't
wanted
need
you
any
guys to
permission
get that
from us
burger
to sit
before it
down.
got
That
old.
burger is that burger.
It's
It's a
your
good. Tommy,
place.
get in on that burger.
Yeah,
Matt and I can.
I
Matt,
will
Matt
in
and
a
I
minute.
will carry.
I
if you
will
need.
in a minute.
Yeah.
I will in a minute.
And I'm going to give Matt back his chair. I just
All
saw
right,
an
let me
open
ask
chair
you
and I had
guys
to be there.
this.
All right.
Let's get back to some football. It's like
All right.
now football.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I did want to find out a little bit about. We went down the old Niner path, which is, I mean, it's always kind of fun to go down that road. I still find it funny that we're not out of the Brock Purdy woods yet. If he has a bad game this year, they're still going to people will crush him. And I think the reason why is they're not going to give up on what they said before when they thought Brock Purdy was overrated and just a product of the system. They're not going to give up on that because no one wants to be wrong. So anytime you can go back to that, they'll go back to that. Like, see, I told you, look at that game. But let me ask you guys this, because I said this last year. Quarterbacks right now that for sure I would take ahead of Purdy. Allen,
Yeah, that was my one.
Burrow, Mahomes, Jackson, and then Stafford for this year, but Stafford's older, so he's kind of in his separate category. That's 5.
No Ty
Oth-
Simpson.
Huh?
No Ty Simpson.
Sam
He was
Darnold's the
pretty good
reigning
the first
Super Bowl
half of the year
champion.
for Bama.
Sam Darnold.
Would you guys add any because you could add Herbert. I know people added Hurts last year. They wouldn't do it this year.
Would you add Mahomes coming off an ACL?
I'm kind of talking for the future, like let's say next 5 years.
right.
Like if you were to
Like,
draft right
yeah,
now.
exactly. Who
Well-
would you draft right now?
The question is, and
But we
Tom-
all agree those 5.
Tom, we
I
love
agree.
you
Okay.
and all that,
Lamar
But-
Jackson.
but I think the better question is who would Shanahan take?
Ooh.
You know, as far as guys who are running his system, doing what he wants, he gets anal with how his quarterback
Yeah.
goes through his reads and how he does
Probably-
exactly what he's told.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, I know he would take Cousins before Purdy.
It
He wanted Cousins forever.
It sounded
Like,
like he
what's
would.
an
It sounded
infatuation
like he would
with
take
Cousins?
Stafford.
Do you
too.
know, like,
He-
do you
he
know,
was
when we
really
were in
hot.
Minnesota, like, I think it was a 2022 training camp. Was it 2022? We went to Minnesota.
Yeah, I think so.
And Kirk Cousins, obviously, is the Vikings quarterback. And Mike Shanahan also shows up, makes a cameo. And Mike and Kyle are hanging out with Kirk, like, before practice. And I'm, like, taking pictures. And I get a picture of, like, Mike patting Kirk on the hiney. And I'm like, man, this is like,
Hiney.
this,
The
When's the last time
hiney.
is that a great
The
word?
hiney.
Is that a great word?
When's the last time you heard Heine?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm just
God.
like, man, they like this is like this. They can't.
His stories tail off.
Like, oh boy! Don't make an ass out of yourself.
All right, get back to the original question.
Sorry.
Who would you take for sure ahead of
Yeah.
Purdy?
Well, it's an interesting question, and
It's
Matt
really not that
and Matt-
interesting.
Matt
Mendoza.
brought up a good point. Is
Okay.
that a lot of people think that in Kyle Shanahan's offense, Kyle Shanahan wants the star to be Kyle Shanahan. So when you have sort of a I don't want to say plain because that's not the right word, but you have a Kirk Cousins like quarterback, it highlights the system more than it does the individual.
Yeah.
So in that way, Brock Purdy is the ultimate Kyle Shanahan quarterback.
Okay, but I'm not asking Kyle Shanahan. I'm asking you.
You're
Okay,
asking,
I would-
you're
Matt
asking your-
Barrows.
He wants your big board.
I want your
Oh.
big. I want your consensus board. Like, and the consensus is you. Who would you take ahead of Purdy?
I would take
Forget the system.
I would take the 3 quarterbacks you mentioned: Allen, Mahomes, Joe Burrow,
Okay.
and everything else to me is
So Lamar, you wouldn't put Lamar up
I would
there.
have put Lamar up
no,
there.
well, no.
No, because Lamar freelances as a runner, which can be great, but that's not Shanahan's
No.
style.
But we're not talking Shanahan.
This is your
Josh
team,
Allen
Cam.
Good
This
Lord.
is your
You
team.
guys drank too much already?
I love Lamar.
Lord.
Lamar helped me win a fantasy championship.
Whoa.
You don't forget that. That is
Thank you.
that is lifetime
Thank
loyalty.
you.
We should
Okay,
just make
we're
this a
done.
fantasy
Okay.
football segment.
Okay,
But
we're done with
I
this
might
side of
I
the
might
room.
cut it off at
This
Lamar.
did not
I
go
mean,
the way you wanted.
Well,
did it?
I can't get you guys to commit. You're like, well, Shanahan, I don't give a shit about Shanahan. I'm asking you, who would you take ahead of Purdy?
And you're saying to draft right now that you would have. So does that eliminate Stafford at his
I don't
age?
give a shit anymore. Just pick some quarterbacks. Good Lord.
I think
You guys making it. You guys are back to doing your
I know,
job. You're like
it's-
asking questions and all. So what do we do here? Just pick some goddamn
I think the
quarterbacks.
guys you mentioned are
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay. Is there any other ones? Would you
Montana,
take
Young.
Thank you. Would you take Herbert over Purdy?
Hmm.
Would you take Lawrence over Purdy?
No.
No,
Okay.
No,
Herbert.
This is a
Herbert,
laughable one. He's C.J. Stroud.
I wouldn't take Herbert over
No.
Purdy.
You wouldn't take Herbert over. Neither would I.
Jaden Daniels would be
Okay.
at least an argument, but I don't think I would
He's got a
take
bad
him.
wing.
Here's-
He's
Yep.
done.
You know, Brock Purdy honestly has impacted how I look at quarterback play now. Just the way he, goes through his progressions, the way he throws in anticipation to receivers that aren't there at the time he releases the ball. I went to a Cal game. I've been to one Cal game in the past 10 years, and it was the game against Miami 2 years ago. And I watched Cam Ward play, and I knew like he was he was this potential first round draft pick. Didn't know he'd be the first overall pick, but I watched him play and I thought, I don't think he's very good. All he does is let's run around. He never threw on rhythm. He never threw the guy open as opposed to throwing to the open guy. But that was all because of, how many times has Steve Young said that to you, right? You don't
throw the
in
guy
the
up.
NFL, you don't throw to the open guy, you throw the
them
guy
open.
open.
Yes.
And that's what Brock Purdy does. And when I watched this Cam Ward game against Cal when he was at Miami, is like, oh my gosh, how's he going to survive in the NFL when he's not throwing with anticipation and touch and putting it to where the guy is going to go get it?
Was Mendoza the Cal quarterback?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Threw for he might have thrown for
He
400
was a-
yards.
he
that
He was
game.
the better of the
He
two
was really-
quarterbacks.
He was really good that game. All right. Would you
They
take
were
Caleb
really
Williams over
No.
Brock Purdy?
No.
Same reason.
No.
Jared Goff.
No.
No.
Only
run.
because of the big game scenarios. Like Jared, he hasn't come through.
Mhm.
I mean, the Rams we're done with it.
Yep.
And then
Donaldson?
who?
Donaldson?
Donald.
Donald.
Darnold.
Why did I say Donaldson?
Darnold. Sam Donald.
I screwed up.
Darnold.
I couldn't even
You
quite.
mean-
I couldn't even get it right. Like if I would have screwed it up just a little, I still would have got it wrong.
Do you mean Sam Donaldson of
Yeah.
the ABC News?
With the
His
eyebrows.
eyebrows are too
The
thick.
eyebrows.
Tom,
He's really
do you
good.
mean
What do you think
Sam
of?
Donaldson?
What do you think of Brokaw? Do you think Brokaw is better than Purdy? What do you think? What do you think of Ted Koppel? You think he's
I'm going
better-
Cronkite.
you think Cronkite. He's better than Purdy. Look at
Cronkite
him.
is
I got-
no
oh, God.
nonsense. He will
Uh,
deliver.
Sam Darnold, that guy
Just
that was
Darnold.
here. He only won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get close to his
You know,
name.
it was
Would you
weird.
take him over Purdy?
Matt would because he said he's the
I
best
mean, he
thrower
was,
ever in Niner
he was,
history.
he was a
But
backup to
He
Purdy.
was.
he, when I was in the locker room after the Super Bowl, which was just bizarre seeing the Seahawks celebrating in the Niner
Yeah.
locker room. Sam was the last guy to come in because he had all the commitments and doing all this other stuff. But I wanted to see how Sam was, nobody was just degrading the Niner locker room. Hey, we want it in your house.
No one was urinating in the corner.
I was not urinating
There was
in the
definitely
corner.
a stench, though.
Well, there was oh my God, Barros has never been around. There was beer, there was cigars, there was music,
And there was
and a Lombardi trophy.
and a lot of Mary Jane in there, too.
Wow.
Well, that
In the winning locker room?
Oh, yeah.
that was actually the most stenchiest
I'm
one of
still
that was
high.
2010 Philadelphia after they won the NLCS there. That was
By the way,
That
one
was
of my
strong.
favorite facts about the NFL is they don't test for marijuana until 420.
What?
That's the first day they test for marijuana.
Really?
In the offseason. 420.
I like it. Well, I know.
Matt went to
I
Humboldt.
don't smoke it,
He's
but I'm not
hip.
that dense. I mean,
Matt
Matt-
April 20th.
went to
Tom.
Matt went to
my-
Humboldt, by the way.
It's my brother's birthday, 420.
Is that right?
No, not really, but I wish him happy birthday every 420. We're on a big group thread. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Can we smoke this?
Appreciate it.
No,
No, I don't think so.
This is bamboo, I think.
You don't want to touch.
This is a panda smoke. This was a panda smoke in the zoo.
I'm telling you, it's sweet. It's got like a zooey feel to it. Like I feel like we're in the zoo somewhere. So okay, so we really didn't get anywhere with that question.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Which quarterback we would take out of Purdy?
You want to
Don't
rephrase
do it
and
again.
try it again?
No, the phrasing was exactly what I wanted to. You guys just started it off with, what is Shanahan's system? Which that wasn't part of the question at all. You guys decided to add that in there. That I know Shanahan has very particular when it comes to quarterbacks. It is funny though. You talk about Shanahan, and I this analogy always makes me smile because Steve Kerr, good friend of mine, coach of the Warriors, four championships.
Yeah.
People still want to fire Steve because he was lucky enough to have Steph and Clay, and now that's the only reason he won because the player. It's not because it's coaching had anything to do with it. But people want to fire Shanahan, because Shanahan they haven't won the big one. I always say they haven't won the last big one. They've won plenty of big ones. I asked Brock Heward this, had him on the show last week, and I said, how happy would Seattle fans be if the Niners got rid of Kyle Shanahan? And he said, oh, really happy. They'd be really happy if they got rid of him. I think most people that know football probably feel, and look, fans are going to be fans, but don't you think most people feel that way, that like, this guy's going nowhere?
If the 49ers fired Kyle Shanahan, they would create a committee of 30-somethings who work at the 49ers, very Silicon Valley place. And this committee would meet, and then the committee would come back like 10 days later, and their conclusion would be, we need to find a Kyle Shanahan type coach. Because that's what the archetype is in this league right now. So you have the guy. It doesn't make any sense to fire Kyle
the
Shanahan.
question would be like, what if he wants to leave? And he's
I
not.
think there's a greater chance of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Jed will let him coach forever. But if Kyle says, you know what, like maybe Jerry Jones is going to give me $30 million a year to coach this debacle of a franchise because it's Texas money, would you leave for the money? He's like, my kids have been raised through the Bay Area. Like, I'm ready to go.
He's got to win a Super Bowl
I know
first.
Bill Walsh, said that coaches have a timestamp, was a born on date or whatever it is, an expiration date. I don't know that he does, because he's very much an in the moment coach. Like, he tells the guy, there's no like rallying cries, or there's no constant message that he gives them. He's very much about, this is how we beat the team coming up. And it's no cliches. It's just, this is what we have to do. And so therefore, I asked Trent Williams about this a couple of years ago, like, how has he kept it fresh? And he goes, he doesn't have to, because he coaches for every game, and he's constantly telling us what we need to get better. And it's not a gimmick.
Let me jump in real quick, because the 10-year mark, I think, is very important. It is a major marker. And I brought this up to Kyle when we were at the owners meeting, because Bill Walsh coached 10 years with the Niners. Pleasanton's own John Madden coached the Raiders for 10 years. And when Madden was going to the Hall of Fame, like, why did you only go 10 years? Because everybody's like, why did you stop? And to him, he's like, well, that was it. He's like, Lombardi did 10 years. 10 years was it. And obviously John went on to great things in broadcasting. Kyle is not a 10-year coach. Kyle is going to be coaching for another 20 years. The question is, he's not going to be coaching 20 more years with the Niners. It's just like, this is where I don't want to say fear, but I worry about like the Niners business things going, we change CEOs out every so often, kind of like Silicon Valley company. We got to get new leadership in, see if they will deliver us the great stock returns. I mean, Kyle has them in contention every year, but then people can blame it on a power plant of why Kyle didn't deliver. They find other reasons. But that's football. There's so much that goes into it beyond coaching. But we've coached. We've been through 10 coaches at least or so, like you longer than me. But Kyle is very transparent. He's very open. I think he's he's probably the best coach we've dealt with. I mean, Harbaugh was like a wild, like that was, you didn't know what you were getting from Jim, but every 3 days you were going to get a story out of Jim. Mariucci was very gregarious, not serious. If there was something like Terrell Owens wise, it would be like, are we really going to be serious now about football? Where Kyle's always pretty serious, and he'll tell you things, and he will but media has changed a lot in 25 years. You have YouTuber personalities now calling him out, trying to get a soundbite where he has to restrain himself from not teeing off on a guy.
But I also think the NFL's changed. Like when Bill Walsh and when John Madden were like 10 years and that's it. It's because 55% of the roster was the same during those 10 years. Now there's such an influx of guys that, the message getting old never really gets to that point because guys, the exception of, Kittle and Warner and, Bosa will be around a while. And I mean, who else has been on the team a long time? You're only talking about a handful of guys who were there for more than 5 or 6 or 7 years.
So let me ask you this, because I think we all agree that he's going to be the coach here for the foreseeable future. If he were to be let go, he'd get snapped up within 48 hours. He'd have a job.
Probably making double.
Yeah, but everyone has a weakness. Like when you look at him, the strengths far outweigh the weaknesses. What are the weaknesses when you look at Kyle Shanahan and say this is something that he could get better at?
Barros is going to say 3rd round running back.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we touched on it earlier. It's this idea that, okay, the way we're doing it is perfect. This is the way we do it. We're not going to veer from that. If you don't adapt, if you don't change, if you don't look at the 23 draft and the 24 draft and say, you know what, those weren't very good drafts. If you convince yourself that you're doing the right thing, even if you're not hitting on these picks, I think that's a weakness. That's a flaw. And that's something that I feel like that's a John Lynch thing.
Yeah.
Is
there anything in game?
I'm talking more about philosophy.
Okay.
And he came in with a very tried and true philosophy, which is what the 49ers did with John McVay and Bill Walsh, which is the scouting staff is there to pick guys that the coaching staff wants. You work hand in hand with the coaching staff. Bill Walsh is a genius. He knows what he wants. I think that John Lynch had a similar view about Kyle Shanahan. And so you do that. And I think that's the right way to go about it. But at some point, you need to have the wherewithal to talk your guy, this genius coach, off of players that he falls in love with. I don't know if that goes on. They do a good job of disguising it if they do. But I do feel like that's the GM's job ultimately. If he doesn't think, and maybe that happened with the Trey Lance draft, it may have. I don't think anyone's exactly sure of how that went down, but I do feel like there needs to be somebody like that in the organization. Yeah.
What do you guys see from him? Is there anything in game or something you look at and say?
To me, it's like the stubbornness, like that would be, I mean, we hear the rumblings.
Yeah.
No, that was just the speaker.
Thank you.
No, but I think that's it. Like maybe I think he's so smart as a football guy, and he knows he's so smart as a football guy that once he gets it in his mind that this is the way it should be done, then that's the way it should be done. So maybe like kind of an unwillingness to kind of bend, and I don't know if adapt is the right word, because he has done stuff like, the way he used Debo, the heck, what he did with RG3, introducing the RPOs. But I think he's not as willing to come off of something he really believes when coming off of that might be better for the team.
I'm kind of more curious about not the X's and O's, but the personality, because he's always tried to be. He's not like, we can label coaches as a player coach, and like some people look at that negatively as, but he relates really well to the players, and I think that's been one of his positive things, a positive asset. like in 20 years from now, he's going to be a grumpy old man if he hasn't won a Super Bowl, right? So it's like, how is he going to relate to, like, because his film sessions are ruthless with guys. They're notorious where I'm calling you out no matter who you are, but that's how it is. That's how Belichick was with Brady, because you're not there to be their friend. You're there to coach them up and tell you what you're supposed to do. And Kyle's has always been about teaching. Like, and it's always like, I'm going to teach you guys what every single person is doing on this field. So, it's all about understanding, which is great. I don't see him ever straying from that, but it's like, how are you going to be able to relate to somebody that's like, like he can like wear cool outfits. He can like listen to the cool music. What is that going to be in 30 years from now? Well, that he's not going to be coaching 30 years from now, but but that's part of the evolution of any coach.
I think, you can relate to this. You just want a coach who's going to make you better.
Yep.
And I think everybody who plays for him, especially on the offensive side, feels like he can make me better. Now, Kyle has told me, he's like kind of joked about his dad and saying, look at him. He's still grinding film. He's a lifer. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be, I'm going to be on some beach in Cabo.
He's going to be on NBC Sports.
What they all say.
He's going to be on NBC Sports Bay Area.
Yeah,
so he's doing 49er talk with Matt Mayoko.
NBC Sports Bay Area.
He's going to be in the bamboo pretty soon doing one of these.
I did ask him at the owners meeting. I said, so, are you going to, are you thinking of maybe going into broadcasting? Because you did pretty good at the Super Bowl. I go, you coach pretty well on the flag football team. You got them to the championship. And he's like, no, I'm going to stick with the number one option of coaching the Niners as long as they have me. It's like, yeah, because that pays the most, right? It's like,
well, not TV would pay more.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Maybe
not for me.
Oh.
Local TV.
There's not a bidding war for your services?
Oh, yeah.
Peacock
this
and
is
Prime.
why I showed
and
up here
NBC
today.
Sports
He is
Bay
on
Area.
Peacock. He's in the Peacock family.
I guess you are in the Peacock family. There's so much now. I guess it's hard to find games nowadays.
Well, and now the Tolbert show pays way more.
oh
This is
yeah,
amazing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Sure.
That's-
The original pattern, please.
yeah, we could bring another round.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lift this up, it's all cash under here, under the
Nice.
table. It's like just it just flows. That's what
You guys all need to come to McKays. Pleasanton's on Main Street.
They're
Josh
here.
has been. I know, but I'm like telling
Oh,
the
you're talking
I
audience.
love the fact
I'm
that
talking
he's
to the
doing the
Tolbert
spots.
show audience. This is
great.
This is our place. Listen,
is
I've
the
lived in
mayor.
Pleasanton for 30 years. I've known Josh for 30 years. He opened this. I don't know, Josh. I would talk to him, but he's talking to his clients at least 10 years. This place has been amazing. It's weathered a lot of storms. Its outdoor backyard is amazing. You have a front yard. There's also a speakeasy inside called the Angry Goat that seats 35 people. Nice cocktails. Come in, bring your wife, bring your date. It's all very cool. So come to McKay's.
What do you think about the NCAA tournament expanding to 76 teams? That's official, apparently.
No, it isn't. Is
Breaking
it?
news here on
Really?
the October show.
God. Go Cal Poly.
I mean, stupid.
Okay.
I mean, we know why they're doing it. Everything's about money nowadays. So it's like more games they can put on TV, the more sponsorships they can get, the more money they can get. I mean, everybody's looking for like that's why we have the patches. You guys watch NBA games, you notice the patches on the little sleeve. I don't know
Like
if it's not a
soccer
sleeve
now,
or what do they call the tank
sink-
top? The
Was it?
Strap.
What did I say? Oh, I thought I
is it 76? That's
76
ridiculous.
Breaking news here.
Spirit
But
of
like my
76.
favorite one, my favorite patch was the Clippers. They had Visit Rwanda. And I thought to myself, I told a
Who's
friend
she?
of mine,
Oh, boy.
Oh, did I steal your
wow,
punchline?
That is-
hey now. I told my friend I was watching a Warrior Clipper game and I ended up booking tickets to Rwanda. I go, you know what? I never knew I wanted to go to Rwanda until I was watching the Clippers play. I go, oh shit, Visit Rwanda. I want to go there. I want to see the Lowland Gorillas. I want to check out what's going on over in Rwanda. Heard it's a hop. They got good bars over there, good craft beer scene over in Rwanda. I want to go check that out.
Big IPAs.
I was like, did
Yeah.
anybody this year, one person, go to Rwanda after watching a Clipper game? You know what? I didn't know I
might have been
needed to
one.
go to Rwanda. I'm going to Rwanda.
Have you ever seen the videos of the people who go see the Lowland Gorillas?
Oh yeah, they get knocked out of the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
and all that.
It's
I
I
watch it all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, don't move. I'm like, don't move. This thing's coming right at me. You kidding me? And get the hell out of here.
Start running.
Gonna beat the shit out of me. This thing's like 600 pounds. But no, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, you get used to it. I think we've been in sports long enough. It was a lot different 20, 30 years ago. It was a lot different 5 years ago. I mean, that's why you guys are all going to be going. I suspect all you guys are going to Australia for the first game.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are going to Australia. They're trying to expand internationally. Why? Money.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Hey, let me ask you, because you were speaking of NCAA basketball. You went to Arizona at SAP Center. What do you think? That was a good show, but like, it wasn't like packed to the rim. Like, is that just because like the Bay
I was
Area?
so close I couldn't see
I know
up that
you
far.
were, but I mean,
That's a flex.
well, that's what you.
I don't know. I don't know who was up there.
That's what helps when you bring Steve Kerr. They get you good seats.
No, actually, he brought me.
Yeah,
Am I right? Was it 40 years ago in 1986 that you guys won up in Seattle in the Western Regionals?
88.
80 was it? Okay,
88. So
you beat
close.
North Carolina.
Yep.
J.R. Reed was on your back. You threw that shot up.
Oh
and
my
you guys go to the
gosh.
Final Four.
Yep.
I was up there.
Were you really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I remember that game.
Wow, you
Quite
do
well.
love your college basketball.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Wow.
have I already told you this? My high school baseball coach was Rick Barry from Cloverdale.
Oh,
And so he knew about Bergman.
Yeah.
And so,
And
Bergman and Craig
McMillan.
Yeah.
Did he play on the basketball team with him?
Rick was older.
Than Bergie and McMillan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, they both. Well, McMillan went to Arizona with me, and Bergie did too. Bergie played football.
Right.
He
But
was
wasn't
he
on
got recruited by Holmgren.
Was he on
at
the
BYU.
basketball team too? Didn't he play basketball a little bit?
Yes, he did.
Bergie? Yeah.
Because we had people that were leaving.
when he was coaching golf at Monte Vista, also on the side, and I golfed with him once as
Yep.
like a e-ball term. I don't think I've ever heard anybody hit a golf ball as hard as that guy
he
can
hits
hit.
it hard.
It's yes, the sound of him making
Look
contact.
at Bergie making it to the show. He's not even
It
here.
is amazing.
Have you ever seen calves like that?
I don't look at men's calves.
Yeah, well-
I stopped looking at once I saw Nick Bosa's. I was
They're
no.
grotesque.
He goes
Yes.
from
That's grotesque.
the upper quads up.
Yeah.
No, it just they're stunning. Next, if you ever get a chance, just
If
peek.
I ever get a chance.
Just at least give it a peek.
Just calf
Just like look,
porn.
look down. So Niners make the playoffs this year.
Yes, they do. Because I can't see them having the same injury bad luck 2 years in a row. However, caveat to that is that Christian McCaffrey played well over 1,000 snaps in 2025. Every time he's played 1,000 snaps in his career, it's happened 3 times, he's been massively injured the following year. So this is the 3rd time. If history repeats itself, they're going to have to go with your guy, Kodak Black.
No, it's not Kodak Black.
You're on Black.
I planted
Kodak
that in your
Black.
head.
I thought you were going to say coffee black. You're going to go with the tropics, the Flint tropics, Kodak Black. Oh gosh, Niners make the playoffs.
I'm going to defer to him.
I think so. But I think they'll be in as the second wild card out of the NFC West. So I think all 3 of those teams make the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm too much of an optimistic guy where I think that if they beat the Rams in Australia, then they're going to be on such a high thinking that they can do anything. I think they can. And there's a lot of I think 10 teams had new coaches this year. Thanks, buddy. And a handful of them obviously are on the Niners schedule.
Is this like that was yours?
Well, what did you get?
I got the.
Yes.
Well, these guys can't figure out their own
Which one
beer.
is the original pattern? Which one's the pale ale? Okay, that's yours.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's all right. We do
So
that.
you're a Niner
Yeah.
playoff guy.
Yeah, but only because like they haven't proved me wrong in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they're consistently in it. I think it's going to be harder for Seattle because you're the defending champ. I think the Rams. I really like the Rams defense, but there's something about LA. Like, remember they almost traded Devontae Adams, or they were talking about openly trading Devontae Adams. Now you openly went against your quarterback getting a first rounder. There's just going to be drama, I think, in LA, where right now nobody's really suspecting that the Niners are going to do anything, but they still have the same cast with a few extra players. Tom, honestly, I think they need to go pay Joey Bosa. They need to get somebody else to play defensive end. because I just don't see them being able to get to the quarterback still.
Well, the Niners make it through this year without anybody getting shot.
Oh boy. Well,
Without what?
Getting what?
Without anybody getting shot.
Without anybody getting
Well,
shot.
Well, I think they're 2 years running now.
Keon,
Somebody's
like,
gotten shot.
No, it happened in January.
yeah, Keon
Well,
White,
okay.
Or February.
Keon White got shot.
Matt, do you remember who the alleged perpetrator was?
Lil something.
Little something.
Not
was-
LIL.
Little baby.
It was,
baby.
It was not Lil Kim.
Never trust little baby with a gun.
They had a nice run there. I was like, good Lord, what is going on here?
And then they trade for somebody before the season.
That's
Brian
right.
Robinson.
That's right. Yeah.
One, yes.
I mean, well, he wasn't on their watch,
No.
but he was still part of the team.
Yeah.
So we had three. They had three. That's pretty amazing stuff.
Well, so that means, so what do we have, like a few months until they're in training camp? So we're still in the open zone where guys are susceptible to being in wrong places.
Maybe they get
wrong
Plaxico
times.
burst.
What
Come
about
talk
this
to the
weather
team.
we've been having, huh?
Look at
This is nice.
Tom, can I
Not
ask you a
cloud in the
question?
sky.
Yes, ask me a question.
What is the longest trip you ever took as an athlete during a season?
He's not like talking about Zagaris trip.
Well, no, it wasn't in season. It was preseason. We went to Italy and France for preseason games. I don't think I did. No, it was like maybe from Oakland to Miami.
Oh.
No, I think
That
he's
was probably
talking
the
like
one.
road trip. Like how many days on the road?
No, I
No, he
meant
went distance.
I
He
meant
went
trip.
distance.
I mean, because I'm wondering. I mean, a tall person on a plane for a long trip has got to be pretty.
Well,
grueling.
here's how we used to do it. My first year, we flew commercial. Second year, we flew private. So we had the MGM plane, which was really, I mean, for us, it was like, wow, this is awesome. And like, are you cold? You want to snuggle? Yeah. Okay, let's sneak on in here. So the first year, I was with Charlotte. No,
and you're
yeah.
flying commercial.
flying commercial.
How's that?
Sounds
So
like
what
a
they
Cam
did-
Inman story.
So what they did was, if you had seniority, you got to sit in first class. First class seats fill up. Then you go back to coach, and they would buy 3 seats for 2 players. So somebody'd sit on the
Okay.
aisle, somebody'd sit next to the window, and you had the middle section to kind of work things out. My favorite memory.
Legs be in that middle underneath.
Well, 2 legs. I mean, you got 2 legs and 1 leg on the aisle, and
Okay, yeah.
one guy usually stick his leg out in the aisle until the cart came down. But my favorite memory of that was when I was with Charlotte. There was a guy named Dave Hoppin on our team, center from Nebraska,
Yep.
7-footer.
He had a jump hook.
Yep, 7-footer, and he wasn't part of the first class crew. He had to sit and coach with me. I was a rookie.
Was he hopping mad?
Oh, you're so good. Look, he can't turn it off, can he?
And this is
It's
this is
amazing.
with non-alcoholic beer. Imagine if I had alcohol.
So we're walking through first class. First class gets on first, obviously. And my favorite recollection was thinking that Dave Hoppin, 7-footer, is going to have to sit and coach. And who was sitting in first class? Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues, who was 5'3", was sitting in first class. And Dave Hoppin, who was 7 feet, had to go back to coach. That would have been funny enough. But it was even funnier when Dave walked by him, because I was right behind Dave. Dave walks by him, and Muggsy's already in his seat. He's got his blanket down and everything. He had his feet tucked in the little magazine holder right there. Had him tucked in there, and it was just like this. I'm just like, damn, man, that sucks for you. Muggsy's got his feet tucked in the magazine little holder there, and there's Dave, 7 feet, got to go sit in the. Yeah, that was something. So that was the first year. The following year, we flew commercial my first year with the Warriors. And my favorite recollection from that was Manute Bull,
7'7".
RIP, love Manute, would sit in the bulkhead seat on the aisle. So he could stick his legs out into like the little galley area there. And he would never take his jacket off for the entire flight. And the man wore, like, if he wore a burgundy jacket, it was burgundy pants, burgundy jacket, burgundy socks, burgundy, like it was all burgundy. And he wouldn't take any of it off. And he'd just stick his feet in the galley and just go to bed. Just go to sleep. One time I walked by his door in the hotel and Mully went out and bought him socks. He goes, just mix in a few different colors. So the socks were hanging on the door. And I think he had some choice words for Mully. He called Mully chalk because he was so white. Which was hilarious. But Manu was the best. One of my favorite memories of Manu was at a Christmas party I missed, unfortunately, the year before. Everybody told me about it. He had a fireplace in the house. He cooked a pig in the fireplace, whole pig in the fireplace.
In the living room?
Yep, banana leaves and everything. Just like total authentic pig.
Wow.
Just like in the...
Wow.
And then before we get back to Niners, I'll give you one last one that you guys will enjoy. Mully and I are over Manut's house. And obviously, Manute from Africa, different cultures. So you just roll with everything. So he's sitting right here. I'm sitting where you're sitting, Matt. And then to the left of me is Mully. So we're just sitting there shooting the shit with Manute. And Manute has his arm rested on the side of the chair. And he drinks Heinekens. So all he drank was Heinekens. So he's sitting there with his Heineken, drinking his Heineken, not lifting the elbow up off the armrest, drinking his Heineken. It's empty. Says something to his wife, looks over at me or Mully. You guys want something to drink for Mully, non-alcoholic beer for me, Heineken. I was like, I'm good. Don't worry about it. And he said something to his wife, kept his arm on the armrest, elbow down, beer in the hand. She came and lifted it out of his hand. He kept his hand there, and she slid the beer back down into his hand, and then he resumed drinking.
That is living there.
I was like, hey, Mully, what do you think Lori would do if I did something like that? He goes, you probably get stitches because she'd hit you over the head with the bottle. But it was just wild looking. Like his arm did not move at all. Slid the beer out, slid the full one back in. I was like, that is living.
I mean, our service at McKays here has been close to that.
Are you kidding? This has been amazing.
Yeah, it's been great.
Absolutely amazing.
NBA teams now,
look at that. Look at you.
In football, Tom, as soon as the game's over, whether it's a East Coast, Monday night game or Sunday night game, they're on the plane as soon as they go through airport security at the stadium. They get on the bus, they go to the plane, and they fly overnight back home. NBA teams now, aren't they spending an extra night in the city where they play?
Yep, because they have sleep specialists. Everybody has specialists nowadays.
Yeah.
So you have a sleep specialist. You have, it's wild. So,
but I wonder if that's something where, is that something I wonder that'd be applicable to the NFL? Like, why not stay, have a good night's sleep?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I know with NBA teams, they feel like you're not getting much sleep on the flight. So just stay the extra day, then give everybody a good night's sleep. Now, what my line is, well, how do you know they're sleeping?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? We used to fly into cities. This is back when I was like rookie or second year, and it was amazing. You'd fly into a city, you'd get on a bus would take you to the hotel. Some guys would get in a cab and take off. And I was like, where are they going? Oh, they're going to the strip club. It closes at 2:00. So when people think, oh, they're going to the hotel sleeping, no, they're probably not going to the hotel and sleeping.
Strip clubs don't close at 2:00.
I was like, that's what they told me.
Well, if the plane landed at noon, would it be any different?
No, it wouldn't be.
But
and then why do you go to that strip club? Oh, the buffet is incredible.
Yeah.
The buffet,
lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, the buffet. Yeah, that's why you go
the
there.
Heine's are
Heinekens.
Heinekens, yes.
But like the Niners, because they'll fly in late and they'll get back at 2 a.m. or sometimes. It's like Matt brings up a good point. Like, why would you not just? It's got to be money driven because the NFL traveling party is so much bigger than basketball. And baseball, baseball though travels so freaking much. You're on the road 81 games a year. The travel budget for baseball.
Yeah, but baseball gets to stay 3 days.
Right.
So you get to unpack and put your stuff in a drawer if you want to in a hotel
Can I ask
room.
you a question? Because you do the you've gone on these national tours now of the traveling stuff with Bergie.
Oh yeah.
Are you trying to hit every football stadium, baseball? Like, how many are you crossed off your list now?
Well, here's kind of the criteria.
All right.
We try to do it in September.
Yeah.
Because the weather is good. And there's college football still going on.
Yeah.
And there's baseball still going on. So we try to figure out a way to hit the Niners, college football, baseball, and then if there's something
A Monday
of
night
a
game.
historic value, well,
You did that one.
we
Monday
did
night.
that one year, but we've gone to Gettysburg.
Would you go to Australian rules football?
No, I'm not going to Australia. That's a little far. That's a little out of my jurisdiction. Yeah, but the longest trip was Pittsburgh,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Steelers, Niners,
Yeah.
fly to New York, Jets, Bills, watch Aaron Rodgers blow out his ACL, and watch the Jet fan. That was the best part of the whole trip. The Jet fans going, oh,
Season over after
The
four
four-
plays.
four
oh.
snaps. And wait, who sacked him?
It was Leonard Floyd.
Leonard Floyd,
Was it Leonard Floyd?
future 49er legend.
Then from there, drive to Philly,
Yeah.
Philadelphia, the Phillies and the Braves. Vikings,
the-
Eagles.
the-
Minnesota was Uda Pills.
No,
that was like the next
no,
year.
Philadelphia. The
Monk's Cafe.
Oh
Monk's
no,
Cafe.
Monk's Cafe.
Monk's Cafe.
What
I
a
recommended
great-
that to somebody yesterday.
What a great cafe
Is that great?
that is.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, Monk's Cafe. And then Gettysburg.
Yeah.
That trip, which was awesome. So the funny thing was we didn't know we were staying Airbnb. And Vinny up at Russian River, the owner of Russian River,
Yeah.
him and Natalie. I called him. I go, do you know of any bars in Philadelphia? He goes, oh, Monk's is one of the
Cafe.
best bars
That's right.
in the country. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It was 50 yards from our Airbnb, just out of the blue. We're like driving by and going, oh my God, it's right there. Like I remember that. And I also remember trying to find the Airbnb and we were on the wrong side of, there's got to be one street there. It's like, you want to be on this side of the street, not on that side of the street.
Yeah.
So we were driving on that side of the street. And I remember there was a girl there and
Well,
kind of pulled her top down. And I said, are we on the right side of the street right now? And my buddy in the back seat goes, right now we are. But we probably better leave.
this is a community service because the Giants fans are in Philadelphia right now while
That's
they're
right,
watching the
they
Tolbert
are,
show.
yeah,
And they're
yes.
going, oh, Monk's Cafe. It's near Rittenhouse Square. Go
Monk's
check
Cafe
it out.
is- It's amazing.
Monk's Cafe.
Monk's Cafe is super cool.
Pills.
Uda Pills in
That was
Minneapolis.
Minnesota. Yeah,
you
that
gave
was
me
good.
that. That was a great recommendation.
Good recommendation.
That was well. I always try to ask my beer buddies, like, okay,
Right.
if I'm going to a city, where do we go?
Yeah.
Where are we going to go? And most often they'll hit me with something. Sometimes they'll be like, bad beer. Like we went to New
Yeah.
Orleans. All three of them bad beer city.
Horrible. bad
You got
person.
nothing. I got
Yeah, it's
nothing.
not a beer city.
Like I got nothing
No,
for you.
no.
So that was LSU. Florida.
All respect to Abita, but it's not the purple
Yeah,
haze ain't gonna do
A
it.
beat is
No.
yeah.
No.
That's the best you have to offer.
Yeah.
It's not- like great city, great food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beer, not so much.
Great city. Yeah.
Not so much. Okay, I was going to ask you this half an hour ago, and I forgot. Now I remembered, so I'm going to ask you.
Which quarterbacks would you take over Brock Purdy?
No.
What's the most?
Mike Vrabel.
What's the most upset you've
too
made
soon.
somebody by writing about him?
Well,
What was the question?
Most upset you've made somebody by writing about him or
my
saying something
my
about
first year on the beat, I wrote a story. My first year on the beat was 2003. That off season, I wrote a story about how the 49ers were going to move off of Jeff Garcia. And Jeff Garcia's agent called me from a vacation in the Dominican Republic and chewed me out for like 45 minutes straight. Just MF'd me one thing after another. I got the story wrong. I got this wrong. And it's my first year on the beat, and I thought I'd really, really screwed up. And they got rid of Jeff Garcia about a week later. But I just remember just taking it, just like, I could have gotten up out of the room and come back, and he was still like MFing me this, MFing me that. I know the name of the agent. I'm not going to say it, but it was Steve Baker.
He once yelled at me. He once yelled at me too. It's all right.
Okay, well, the most upset you've made somebody by writing a story.
There's been a few, but I'm gonna. One of the first ones was when I first got on the beat. I heard hey, Newberry's looking for you.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh, that's not a good
That's
one.
not
to have
good.
Somebody mad at me. Newberry, Pro Bowl center, local guy,
red ass.
mad at me. And I'm like, okay, I got to go. I went up to him in the locker room. I said, hey, I heard I made you upset. And he goes, yeah, you wrote some shit about me. I go, I went back and read it, and midway through the story just said Garrison Hurst had a touchdown run nullified by a Jeremy Newberry holding penalty and blah, 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 blah. And I go, that's all it was. I didn't call the holding penalty. And he's like, that's all you read? I go, yeah. He goes, oh. I go, did you not read it? He goes, no. None of these guys read any of this stuff, right? But it's all second, third hand. I'm like, so we cool? He goes, yeah, we're cool. I go, okay, listen, if you ever have an issue with me, come talk to me. I will talk to you about it. You don't duck it. That's the big thing as a reporter. If you because don't take cheap shots. Just be fair, accurate, and you get respect from guys. I once got a phone call from Steve Mariucci, one of my first years on the beat. He was very upset because the old days at Candlestick, you could go down on the field the last few minutes of a game. And there was a game, we were down on the field last few minutes, and T.O. was doing something, and Mariucci told him in John Madden terms, get your ass off the field. And there was an F word involved, and I reported it, and Mariucci was so upset saying, you can't report what's said on the field, which is true. But I'm like, well, I didn't know any better, but it's also, we're allowed down there. Like everybody can hear it. So you're obviously not happy with T.O. And that was a very strained relationship for those final few years. And I got it, and I understood it, but it was all kind of a learning experience also. But I mean, even to this day, like there was when we were in Tampa last year, and there was a player that was not playing defensive end. There was 10 guys on the field when Fred Warner got hurt, and the guy that did not go in at right defensive end, we identified him, and I didn't call him out because it was really not his fault. It was the coaches had to make sure there's 11 guys on the field. He was in on kickoff. He came off the field rather than tell him to stay on the field. So there was obviously miscommunication. And I think my job as a reporter is to say what happened or who it was. And like a couple days later, there was another reporter in the locker room saying he thought he was me. He's like, yeah, this guy was asking if I was Cam. And I go, I'll go talk to him right now to explain what was going on. Cause I'm not looking to get in a fight or like to call the guy out, but like I explained it, and he's like, well, man, I got a family. I go, yeah, I do too. That's not the point of this conversation. I'm sorry that and I'm not saying you were to blame, but you were the person identified by the coach saying we had a defensive end there on kickoff return or kickoff coverage. He didn't stay on the field, and it was you. Like that's everybody's fault. You're not alone in it. And then we had a great talk. I mean, as a journalist, you have to, like, I'm now a journalism professor, Tom. So like journalism ethics are very much my priority.
Sleep tight,
finally,
America.
after 25 years, like
God
somehow
help
they
the
let me
youth.
do that. Right. So like, it was very nice to talk to the guy. And then he got like shipped out like 2 weeks later because he screwed up and like Fred Warner's ankles there to show for it. But anyhow, you, as a reporter, it's your responsibility not to duck. You have to face whatever criticism. If you're going to levy it against somebody, you better make sure it's fair, because if it's unfair, like you're going to get exposed as a fraud right away.
Yeah, I got a couple stories. I'm going to make this half the time that he just took to take.
Is it
tell that
sundown
story.
now? Well, you're supposed to interrupt.
Well, two stories. The thing, and what Cam was touching on there is just like the accountability. And there was a couple years ago where, and what I wrote or what I said isn't important as much as I get a phone call, and I forget if it was Kyle Shanahan's name that shows up or John Lynch, but whoever it was said, hey, okay, let's just say it was Shanahan who called me. I was like, I wonder what he's calling about. And then he goes, hey, I'm going to, John Lynch is right here. So I got two of them at once, and they were both pissed off at me. And Shanahan's like, yeah, I really don't care about what you wrote, but John has some issues. And so one of the things John said was, what you said really pissed me off, but I wanted to address it with you now because I didn't want the next time I see you to be awkward. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like that's what you strive for in this business. And as it turned out, he explained and I talked and I said, you know what? I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. But it was over and that's it. And I never felt anything, any ill feelings. The other one that comes to mind is there was a 49ers player who it looked like he sustained a concussion on the field. He was down, and then he gets up, and as he's walking to the sideline, one of his teammates, I won't mention names, it's Matt Breida, hits him on the head. And like, hey, you okay?
I
and hits him on the head. And so I went to that player like the next week, and I go, because I don't even know if I saw it because I'm at the game.
Yeah.
And when you watch on TV, you see so much more. But I think it was my wife said, oh my God, I can't believe that Breida, hit that player on the head after it looked like he had a concussion. And so I said that to the player. I go, hey, my wife saw that, like, he was hitting you on the head. And he was like, oh my God. He goes, my wife was so pissed. She wasn't at the game, but she was watching on TV, and she yelled at the TV, what the fuck are you doing, Breida? And so I was like, oh, that's a great story. And so I wrote it. The wife wasn't happy.
Not happy?
No. And then he said, oh, I thought we were off the record.
Oh.
Like, no, we weren't off the record. So I think we're fine now.
I thought you were going to say the player was going to say, who's Matt Breida?
Oh, too soon.
Wait, too soon? Matt Breida had been around here for years.
Did you ever get really upset with a reporter in your
Yes.
playing days?
Yeah.
No. Look, I was in a position. I was just happy they were writing about me. I was like, cool. They wrote a story about me. Nice. Well, I'm going to get mad
It
at
said
him.
I had a minus 22. Cool.
You know what?
What are you talking about?
It was so different back then because we're talking early 90s. And, sometimes
No
you get the
social
paper,
media.
sometimes you didn't get the paper. And that sports talk wasn't a big deal. I didn't even listen back then. So there literally could be times where somebody could say something. You would have no idea they ever said it. But your point is the best point because I've talked to so many people that I may say something on the radio or on an ESPN broadcast or on a Warriors broadcast that they weren't happy with something I said. And I go, what about it upset you? And they go, well, my boys said that you said. I go, look, Funky, you didn't even listen. I go, you don't even know. I go, of course they're going to be slanted. I go, of course they're. I go, you know what? Come see me when you find out exactly what I said. And don't go by your boys or your mom or your dad or your buddies, or your wife, because I could say something that's perfectly fine. They're going to think of it in a certain context, and then they're going to say, "Oh, he was ripping you." When I wasn't ripping him, I could have been, but there's certain times where you're not. But it's just, don't give me the third hand crap. That bothers me.
As long as you go and say, was it accurate? Was it fair? And it's so like that's
I always add, was it funny? Like, was it funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it funny?
Yeah.
Okay, then it was worth it.
Yeah.
One of the best.
If I can make somebody laugh, I'm like, screw it. I don't care if it's accurate or not.
One of the best jokes ever told was by Matt Barrows when Jim Harbaugh was up for a. There were rumors that Jim Harbaugh might leave for the University of Texas, and the Niners would have press conferences with the coach out on the practice field in a tent. And there was something about the weather. And Harbaugh said something about the weather, and Barrows says, "Hey, what's the weather in Austin right now?"
Or what was it yesterday when you visited? Wasn't it something like that?
I think I said, when are you leaving for Austin? And it was like long pause, and he goes, "You trying to be funny?"
You're trying to be funny, but
And I'm in the front row, like looking up at him, and I go, trying.
Harbaugh was like unlike any coach that we've ever covered, because, and in fact, we were at the owners meeting last month, and Barrows and I are like right there, and you were asking him something about Trey Lance, and he was okay about like the normal Trey Lance stuff, and then I asked him something about Purdy. He goes, yeah, good, he's good, and then he didn't want to say anything because to Jim everything's a competition. He does not want to say anything that could be like considered derogatory or locker room quotes.
Someone once asked me, like, if you're to drive cross country with any coach, who would you pick? And my answer was Jim Harbaugh, because I get bored after like driving, or being around the same person.
Yeah.
With Harbaugh, you don't know from day to day.
What person?
Yeah.
Each
it'd be
state is
like
a different
new and
person.
exciting every day.
I'd probably have to choose Steve Kerr. That's probably who I would choose.
Yeah, but would he pick you?
That's a great question. Probably not.
Do you know that we have driven across state lines a lot over the last few years, because when the Niners would go on the extended layovers, Matt, Jennifer Lee Chan, and I would often carpool with each other through these various states. We would take turns. Have you ever driven?
I drove in Wisconsin during that snowstorm. Saved
that wasn't
everybody.
part of it.
I saved lives that day.
I say
We pull into West Virginia. We're crossing West Virginia state lines. You put on John Denver's,
Of course you did.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
nobody's ever done that before.
No,
We were
first
the
time
Guys
ever.
were like, look at us. Look at us.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think when Harbaugh came out with the gobbledy we got
Jive
so much,
turkey gobbler.
We got so much mileage out of that. I'm just like, what is this guy talking about? Like where
Well,
is-
I think
Was that the
It was Alex
Smith
Smith
game? His last
related,
start.
yeah.
He was
It
21
was Jim
and 22.
Trotter.
His last start.
it was
with the
Jim
49ers.
Trotter, who was a black reporter, which was not a good thing to do a jive turkey kind of comment to, which was just odd.
he went airplane mode. Yes.
Yes,
Yes, do
yes.
it as I
Barbara
speak, Jive.
Billingsley, yes, I-
exactly.
We-
But he was just wild.
I'm going to tell my favorite Jim Harbaugh story, and Cam Inman had a huge part of this. So this was a kind of what it was like to cover Jim Harbaugh. It was an off-season program. They had a very tall offensive tackle from Ohio State named Alex Boone that they were moving inside
Remember
the
him.
guard. And so my thought
God.
was, like, is it going to be different for the quarterback, to have such a tall guard, like throwing over or around? And so I start to ask this question to Harbaugh. I was like, Alex Boone's 6'8", because I just talked to Boone the day before, and he said, and he even cited how tall he was. So I said, is there any concern about having a guard, Alex Boone, who's 6'8"? And he cuts me off and he goes, "You think he's 6'8"? And I go, I don't know for sure, but he says he is. But anyway, my question is, do you think it's any difficult? He goes, I don't think he's 6'8". I'm like, okay, that's really not where I'm getting at here, but let's just keep going, because, like the quarterback, he's like, I don't think, do you want to bet? I think, hold on, what are we betting on? And people are like, yeah, bet him. Okay, let's bet. I'm like, okay, what are we betting? He's like, you think he's 6'8"? I'm like, well, I don't know, but sure. He goes, I don't think he's 6'8". I go, okay, Jim, let's do this. If he's 6'8" or higher, I win the bet. If he's 6'7" and whatever, 11,
Yeah.
I win the bet. He's like, okay, so we bet. I never got the question off. This was irrelevant at this point. So now we go into the locker room. I'm doing my thing. Cam sees that Harbaugh goes into the locker room and yells, "Boone, get over here!" And they had, like, your kids, when you have them measured,
Yeah.
they had a thing on the.
But it was beyond the locker room. It was towards the showers.
Yeah.
So the media doesn't go out of the locker room. I had to walk with Harbaugh and Alex Boone in towards the showers where the height thing is for the official measurement.
And so Harbaugh has like a yardstick, if that's still a thing.
He didn't have a yardstick.
Okay,
He had
what
like a
is it?
ruler or something.
Okay.
Whatever.
Oh,
Like it may have
whatever,
been
that's a
it may have
yardstick.
been even,
Worse than a yard.
it may have been a pencil, but say that like the measurements were on the wall. Okay.
So he
Who walks
he,
around with
he
a
puts
yardstick?
he puts the pencil or ruler or whatever, and Cam comes back to me. He goes, "Hey, you won the bet." Like, really? What? He goes, "I saw Harbaugh measure Boone. He's 6'8". I was like, "All right, I win the bet." So the next day I see Harbaugh. He's avoiding me, and I go, "Hey, Jim. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I heard I won the bet. What are you talking about?" I go, "Well, I heard that you measured Boone, and he is 6'8", so I win the bet." And he goes, "Well, let me tell you what happened. because I had the ruler, and granted, I am shorter than Boone. It was going up at an angle, so I could never really tell how tall he is. So do I just call it even? And so I'm like, oh my God, he didn't want to pay up. And so a couple days later, someone on the staff there, I said, hey, weird thing happened with me and Harbaugh. Like I told him the whole story, and he goes, you lucked out. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you know how you lose a bet to Jim Harbaugh is by winning a bet against Jim Harbaugh. He will hold it against you for the rest of your life.
Really? The two things that jump out, and I love Harbaugh.
We all do.
He just cracks me up. He's like the biggest kid. It's like, I remember they showed him in an A's game one time wearing a freaking glove. I'm like, you're like almost 50. You got a glove on. Stop it.
On one of our road trips when we went we were going to Philadelphia, right? From like Youngstown, Ohio or something to Philadelphia. So Matt and I we took the Lincoln Highway down. We stopped in Gettysburg for a night to do a tour of Gettysburg. We toured Gettysburg on a bus and all this stuff. And rarely do the media want to ever stay at the same hotel as the team. We want separate worlds. We don't want worlds colliding.
Yeah.
We were staying at the Philadelphia Marriott, as were the Niners, and we all get off on like the 14th floor, and here comes Harbaugh coming in. Hey, guys. And we're like, oh, shit, we're at the Niner Hotel, right? He's like, what have you guys been up to? Did you have a nice drive in? We're like, we stopped at Gettysburg for a night. But Harbaugh loves American history. He loves Civil War. Did you guys see the bullet holes in the so-and-so building? We're like, we did. He's like, oh, that's the greatest thing. And like the doors of the elevator are trying to close. Right? I mean, because that guy's just like an amazing personality, right? He's just like, whatever is on him, it's whimsical. It's amazing.
He's wild. I remember seeing him in a Kansas basketball game on ESPN. Remember that? He was so excited he got to shoot a half-court shot. Yeah. I was like, he's like a 9-year-old out there, like, oh, I can't wait to take this shot. This is going to be amazing. I can't believe I'm here at Fog Allen. This is going to be incredible. I'm like, what? Like, you're the head coach of the Niners.
Did you ever interview him on CanBR? Was he ever like his show crossover with you?
He liked coming on with me because I played.
Yeah.
So he would always, he was a big fan of like other athletes, stuff like that.
He's like, did you ever knock somebody out?
Yeah. He goes, look. I think he had. I wish I could remember the quote, but it was on the radio. And he came on. He's like, "Look, I know what you guys want to ask. I'm going to give you guys." Like, he wouldn't give up something, and he gave up something. And I was like, "What was that?" Like, I think Burns was with me, so he played too. I played. He's like, "I'm going to give you guys something," and he gave us like somebody would be starting. I'm like, "Okay, thanks." Appreciate it. Like, I didn't feel like that was much of a favor or anything. Like, oh, that's going to be amazing. But he was, because we interviewed him too down at the facility during camp.
Yeah.
Just the intensity of that guy when you're sitting next to him. Like, even his laugh has intensity to it. Like, everything's intense about him. It's like, I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but there was never
there was no
like just a loose moment with him. There's always something. And it could be happy. It can make you laugh. It could be fun, but it's just, there's always something about him that's like tight.
They were at the team hotel in Youngstown for that week. They would spend a week in Youngstown. And so they converted one of the big rooms, the big banquet rooms, into basically their cafeteria. And there might have been 20 or 30 tables set up where the whole team, the whole staff would eat their lunches and dinners. And so one day they're eating, and the offensive linemen are kind of gathered at one table, and Adam Snyder eats a piece of meat, and it doesn't go down right, and he starts to choke, and then he realizes he's not getting any air, and he gets up and he's starting to panic, and nobody is doing anything, and he's choking and he's panicking. And Jim Harbaugh is on the other side of the room, and he kind of sees the commotion and like barrels through people, knocking people out of the way, and gets to him before anybody else does, grabs him, gives him the Heimlich maneuver. The piece of meat goes shooting out of his mouth across the room, And then Jim Harbaugh just like goes back and resumes the conversation on the other side of the room that he was in when the choking began. Like this happens every day.
Amazing.
He's a hero.
That's amazing.
Man, and look at Shanahan. He's had twice the tenure. He doesn't have a story like that. What the hell?
Exactly.
I could see him sitting down. So where were we?
So anyway, Gettysburg.
One of my favorite Harbaugh stories is St. Mary's had a power forward who looked like an NFL tight end. Like he had all the attributes. He wasn't going to go NBA. And he had been at the University of San Diego when Harbaugh was there. And so it was at the combine that year. And I knew the dad, and they were talking like, gosh, is that at this point, it was like, there are any number of college basketball players who went on and played football and played successfully, Antonio Gates being Exhibit A. So I said to Harbaugh, I go, hey, do you remember a basketball player at San Diego when you were there? Told him the names, Rob Jones.
I remember Rob Jones.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, that sounds familiar. And he goes, you think he's a football player? And I go, well, I think there's an opportunity. He pulled out like a 3x5 card out of his back pocket and start taking notes. He tell me about him. I go, well, he's 6'6". He's 235 pounds. He has great hands. Good movement skills. He's taking notes, and he's asking me questions. So you want to play? I go, yeah, I think he wants to play. I'm like, okay. And then at the end, he was like, each thing I said got him more and more fired up. And at the end, he literally bat slapped me on the chest with the note card and pen in the same hand and hit me. And he goes, I give you all kinds of information throughout the year. It's about time you did what you just did to me.
And Alex Boone is not 6'8".
And whatever happened to that guy?
And he decided to play basketball.
Oh, God, that's amazing. So if you guys were to make a wager from here until the time they retire, get fired, or no longer coaching, does Jim Harbaugh win a Super Bowl?
John Harbaugh?
Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim.
I think John may have already won one.
Oh, yes, he did. A Harbaugh.
I'll take this.
Yes.
I think it's just so difficult to win a Super Bowl. And I think it's just so tough. I think the college game is perfect for him. I mean, I would.
So you would say no.
I would say no.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes because I think for the NFL, it's tied to your quarterback. He's got a great quarterback, one of your top 5, I believe.
No,
Just outside of it.
Okay, number your top 6.
Great hair.
6.5. And he's got a good quarterback.
Who's been brutal in the playoffs.
But
by the
he's
way.
gonna. But Jim is so competitive. If he doesn't win with Justin Herbert, he is going to go to another place, and he is going to be. He won a freaking national championship at Michigan. He flipped Michigan around. I think he will because I think he is. That's his whole life passion to do that, and that like he is so obsessed with winning more than any other coach I've been around.
What does the consensus board say?
Big board.
Let me look.
Big board.
He missed out on Kalon Black, so
He did.
I don't.
He did.
Kodak Black.
I don't think. Oh, Kodak Black,
Gremlin.
sorry.
Copy black. Do you think Jim Harbaugh wins the Super Bowl?
I'm sort of with Matt. It's that
You just think Andy Reid's going to win?
there's so many variables that can pop. I mean, we just talked about what a great coach Kyle Shanahan is, and here he is going into year 10 without a Super Bowl victory. And if there's one team that's more snake bit injury-wise than the 49ers, it's the Chargers. I mean, they're always injured.
Do they have a power station too?
It's something to look into.
They have a good social media team.
I think you should report on that.
I think so.
See if you can find a power station. Okay, does Kyle win a Super Bowl before he retires?
I think so.
With the 49ers? Is that what you said?
Before he retires.
I mean, if you want to adjust my question, go ahead.
No,
I mean,
I'm saying like
it is a Tom Tolbert
know,
show.
a lot of people.
I just wanted to ask my
and you're
question.
Tom, right?
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people.
I got coasters.
A lot of people.
I got koozies. You want
I mean,
one?
look at Andy Reid.
Yeah. Andy Reid is the precedent for Kyle Shanahan, someone who came really
Yeah, 14
close.
years and then had to leave.
John Madden went to a lot of championship games, didn't break through until 76 in year 8. So, and I brought that up to like the Yorks back in the day, and I'm like, because they're like, we really like the guy. I'm like, then why would you they had no like consideration of deviating from him. They're still convinced in him. He's still got a great roster. I think Kyle does win a Super Bowl with the Niners.
You think so? Are you going to go with the it's so hard line?
Well, I mean, think about it.
I mean, it's a good line.
I think you could make a strong argument that they had the best team in 2019.
Yep.
And I think you could make a strong argument they had the best team in 2023.
You realize in 2019 I had him at 45-1 to win the Super
Did you
Bowl?
really?
What did you put down on that?
You don't want to know. I wouldn't be doing this right now.
Oh,
no, I wouldn't.
no,
No,
really?
It's not that much.
Wow.
It wasn't that much, but
Mattress Tolbert.
it was yeah, I mean it would have been a nice chunk of change. I'll never get that chance again.
When did you
ever.
make that bet?
Before the season.
Before the season. There were what?
45-1.
Before the season?
I
Yeah.
thought they
They were
would have been
coming
much
off,
higher than that.
What were they in 2018? They were terrible.
Yeah.
No, 2018, they should have been better odds, I would think, because they were coming off the strong 5-0 start or 5-0 finish to 2017, and there was a lot of trendy talk about them going into 2018.
I don't know what they were 2018. That's the year that
Everybody
Garoppolo got
injured.
hurt. Yeah, in Minnesota, right?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yeah, that's right. So I was just like 45-1. I'm going to give it a shot, and they made it to the Super Bowl, and we're up 10. I was like, oh my God, I might actually.
I'm rich.
No,
I would
no.
say, I would
Who was
say
the cornerback that bid on the inside? The
that
rookie
was
quarterback.
Emmanuel Mosley.
Mosley. Oh, that's when Tim Ryan got mad at me.
2-3
So I was
Jets
blaming.
have
I
lost?
blame Mosley for that. I was like, I didn't blame him for losing, but I was like, you can't.
Garbage.
You got to know the situation. You can't bite on that. And I remember Tim, and I love Tim, but he's like, well, everybody makes mistakes. I go, that's all I'm pointing out. Because he made a mistake. He shouldn't have made that mistake. He should have stayed deep. Because I remember he bit on that. You could see it. And then Tyreek Hill ran right behind him. I was like, oh, where'd who go? And then they end up then lose. So anyway, but yes, I'll never have that shot again. 45-1. I thought, wow, I'm going to actually hit one of these. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I could add my own beer garden.
you wouldn't be here right now.
I wouldn't. I
You
wouldn't.
want to be schlepping it right here.
I'd be on a beach somewhere in
You call it a beach garden.
a beach garden.
Instead
There
of
you go.
instead of being
I'd have been in Argentina or Chile. I'd have just gone to South.
That's southern hemisphere, like the Niners.
Yeah, I would have been there. I could have gone to the game. How much closer would I have been to going to the
You'd be
game?
hanging out with Andy Dufresne.
I could have. Now that's Mexico. That's San Juan Taneo.
that's Tuataneo.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting because look, I think he wins one too. I think he wins one here. I just it's tough because the division's good, right? And the division's probably not going to get. The Rams are always going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
They got a good organization. Seattle's probably going to be in the mix. They got a good organization. So
But it's the NFL. It's like it's injuries and health.
True.
There's a lot of luck involved.
Sure.
yeah,
Well, this is a World Series you know well, 2002.
I do know it well.
Like I thought, okay, you know what? If the Giants can't win the World Series right then, they never will, because they can't. Like, how close were they to winning it? They will never have a 3-run lead in the 7th inning of a
5-0. I think it was
5-0.
I think it was 5-0.
They'll never have that again. But then, there's Brandon Crawford's dad over there. His son had something to do with
A
this.
little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But then
10, 12,
but
14.
then change, things happen and they end up winning 3 in 5 years. So you never know, but it's so
And they weren't
different.
favored in any of them.
No.
In fact, I went back and looked. I think that the Giants were favored in 2 series. That whole run, like the 3 years they won, they were only favored in 2 series.
Yeah.
So they were underdogs, and they just managed to win. I wanted to ask you guys this: is there any way? Do you think all fields should be grass? And is there any way that will ever happen?
I like George Kittle's politically correct response to this, where some obviously can't be all grass, but his thing was, if you're going to have synthetic turf, it all needs to be the same synthetic turf, so that you know what you're getting. You're getting one or the other. You're not getting one and a bunch of variables. Where like Carolina could be like playing on carpet, or you could be playing at MetLife where it's sticky, spongy. They
Yeah.
all need to be consistent. Oh, do you agree?
Well, no, I was signaling to Matt that I want to talk next.
You want to what?
Talk next.
Okay, then talk.
Oh, you can
Okay.
talk first.
But they are all grass. This summer, they're all grass because
the World Cup.
Well, yes, the World Cup.
That's what you signaled me to talk about.
It's topical.
That
It's
was
topical.
the number one thing.
Well, because Cam made a mistake and said that they can't. They can't.
Oh, I see
You
what you're
just need to spend the money to make them all grass. You
I'm
can
not
do
spending
it. They're
money.
doing it this year.
But the problem, like, it's what you talked about earlier. That's what it's all about. It's the multi-purpose stadiums that there's concerts.
Well, 49ers have concerts.
Oh, what's that?
The 49ers have concerts, and they just changed the grass out.
And then there's weather, though.
Well, not inside a dome stadium.
So that would, if there's inside a dome stadium, it's probably going to be artificial turf.
Well, my point is that they have dome stadiums for the World Cup that they're having grass in. So
Tom,
over
who
a
do you
month,
like in
they
the
will
World Cup
they
this
will
year?
have grass that they're using grow lights and all sorts of
Yeah.
technology to
Denmark?
grow the grass.
I don't think they're in
indoors.
it.
Then I don't like them. No. I always bet Belgium.
Yeah, they're in it.
I always bet Belgium.
That was my class
they-
assignment yesterday.
But
at
all
San
their
Jose State.
all their players are getting a little older now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Are you making that up, or is that real?
it's real.
Oh,
No.
What part? Denmark?
the
Belgium.
Oh yeah, Belgium.
No, their players are a little older now.
Yeah, the guy that looks like Prince Harry, right?
De Bruyne.
Yeah, De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I love Ghent.
And Lukaku.
Ghent's a great town.
I've never been.
Oh yeah, you should go.
Well, I was in
Great
Germany.
Marriott, great breakfast buffet. That means a
Yeah,
lot.
that's
to
what I'm going
reporters.
to Belgium for.
Well,
a Marriott breakfast
well,
buffet.
Yeah. Actually, when we were there with the family, the breakfast buffet is big with the family.
I bet it is.
But when I ditched the family and I went to the local pub, I met these two guys, and they're like they were on a beer holiday. I go, what does that mean? They're like, we're from Wales. We just go on beer holidays. Belgium's got great beer. I'm like, guys, what a fucking great deal this is. You just go drink beer in places.
we went to a bar last year. Me and my buddy went to Germany. We went to an Irish bar in Germany that was a Steeler bar.
A Steeler bar.
A Steeler bar.
Yeah.
Steeler flags.
Terrible
like,
towels.
I'm like, is this a Steeler bar? They're like, yeah, it's a Steeler bar. Like the owner's daughter is like a huge Steeler fan or something. Like, so hold on a second.
It was Jim
We're in an
Tom
Irish
Sula.
bar, Irish bar in Germany that's a Steeler bar. Yep, that's what it was. So yeah, that was pretty amazing. But yeah, we went over there and we did the Frankfurt side. One of my favorite parts of the trip was we went to Luxembourg for lunch. We're like, what do you want to do for lunch today? I don't know. Let's go to Luxembourg.
Yeah.
How often can you say you want to go to another country? Just have lunch. So went to Luxembourg, had lunch.
What do they serve in
I have no
Luxembourg?
idea.
What are they
I
famous
just know it was
for?
cool to go to Luxembourg for
Right.
lunch. I'm not even sure what we ate. And then Berlin, historical stuff. And then Dresden, saw all the firebombing stuff there, which was crazy. Then Prague, hit that. Then Nuremberg for the trials. I asked them if they reenact it for me. They didn't. And then after Nuremberg, went back home, and then went to Rothenburg to Obto or whatever it is. It's like a little fairy tale town. But no, Germany's incredible, absolutely. And the Autobahn's the best. Go like 140 miles an hour.
Was Munich on that rotation?
Driving
at all?
like-
Unfortunately, no, we didn't make it to Southern.
He's driving like
Germany.
Brandon Ayuk down Tasman on the Autobahn.
Thank you. Are they keeping him to the last possible minute? Are they keeping Ayuk to the last possible
It
minute?
certainly seems that way.
I wonder if there's got to be like salary cap ramifications of you're just waiting until June 1st.
He's still on the reserve left team
stuff.
list.
but they
So
don't owe
they
him a
don't get
penny.
paid if
So
you're
you
still
can
on the list.
you can roll that all
And
the way
he-
into
he-
week one.
Yes, he has to apply isn't the word. He has to petition to get back off of this list. So until that happens,
But like
he doesn't make
has
any
to,
money.
But he has nobody to petition for him because he doesn't have an agent anymore.
Yes.
So that's like
That's a problem.
that's an issue. That's why they can't get a hold of him.
That's
Like,
a problem.
bro.
I mean, John Lynch has to realize no one's trading for him. not because they don't want to give up any compensation. Why would you want to assume that contract? Why would?
Well, it would be a sign and trade deal because no one's taking on the contract. But the only impetus that I can see is that if you want him part of your team, you want to get him in now. You want to check out his knee. He didn't look great physically in the latest picture that he put on Instagram. So you want to check on his conditioning, his knee.
Who analyzes Instagram models more than you?
You want to get him on the practice field and see where he is. So that's what would drive a team to trade for them, because the 49ers can hold on to him deep into the summer.
I think if you asked 4 people if he'll ever see action in an NFL regular season game, I'd say 3 of them will say no.
Really?
Yeah, I agree with you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I guess I'm the yes.
Okay.
There you gotta be. See,
it's America loves a comeback story. Only in
to
America.
I could have said yes, but the whole ASU thing has me thinking no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ASU thing got me.
Yeah.
But what a
it was just, you know what it
mess.
was like there was so much just mystery about it from not only the reporter's perspective, but the coaches and the front office always pretended like they were in the dark about whatever happened to ownership. Everybody was like, we have no idea what's going on.
And
which is concerning, right?
Yeah.
Like one of my last conversations with him when he was in the locker room, I mean, he was never a jerk like to us, like the way some other guys. He wasn't a very talkative. He didn't want to be like in the media doing a lot of quotes. But like one-on-one, he would be fine. And there was my daughter tore her ACL about a year and a half ago, and I said something about ACL recovery and all that stuff, and I go, she still hasn't gotten it done. She keeps putting off the surgery, and he's very humanizing. He's just like, it's a really scary surgery, and his knee was blown up beyond the ACL. And so he was like being the sympathetic father, Cam, don't be a dick, and I was just like, but it was him like just saying, look, this is it's a you're not just an athlete, you're a person, and that's like a big deal. But I mean, like, he came back and he was running around a training camp. He looked good.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he was going to get ready to come back. But there's like, by that time, he already had his contract voided. There's so much behind the scenes we don't know. Like, I think that's the thing with the media is we're insiders. We're around the team. We don't know shit. We know like 5 to 10% of stuff. There's so much stuff we don't know, and we magnify the stuff we do to make it seem.
Well,
we want these people to read us
during that time.
Nobody reads anymore, dude.
Read it.
Listen, I teach at San Jose State. Nobody reads or writes anymore. Could put it on TikTok and we're good.
Nobody under 50.
During that time, like I would talk to 49ers people and I'd say, well, it looks like he's working to get back and he's out there running routes in front of the media during training camp. And I was told he's doing that for you guys. He's doing that
really
to be seen and to be on social media, but behind the scenes, he was doing nothing that led the 49ers to believe that he was doing the stuff necessary to get back.
So here's his move.
Fake hustle, I believe is your term, Tom.
Fake hustle.
Fake hustle.
Big fan.
Here's his move. He's still on the roster. So when they have their first OTA on May 27, he just shows up and makes a nuisance of himself, which he's really good at.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, let's just cut this guy. It's not worth it. And that's how he makes it to the Commanders.
All right, before we wrap this up so we can
well, this was quick.
Have a few beers.
Oh my God. This is like what would it be, like 10 minutes? How
yeah,
long?
it's close to 10 minutes. 2.5 hours, 10 minutes, right around
Josh
there.
is like, we have a band coming in. Can you guys get off the stage?
Get off our stage.
He's like, the Bell Brothers are coming in 3 days. Can you guys leave now, please?
Okay, I'll let you guys take one crack at. It's going to be 2 questions.
Oh boy,
the Niners win the Super Bowl if the Niners don't win the Super Bowl if.
Cam.
Oh come on, no, you're just buying time, academic man. No, that's not fair. Niners win the Super Bowl if Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Bosa, and Trent Williams stay healthy.
Wow.
They don't win the Super Bowl if one of the four don't.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
What? Wait, I'm glad you diversified your answers.
Thank you very much.
Do we have a spreadsheet where we
if Niners win the Super Bowl, if this happens,
They
and if
don't
it
win.
doesn't
If that
happen,
doesn't
they
happen.
don't win.
Right. Hey, I don't want to outsmart you. I know you went to
gonna go,
Arizona.
Thank
Love my
you.
time in Tucson, by
Not
the
an
way.
issue.
Great,
Niners
great
win the
place.
Super Bowl if Christian McCaffrey kind of defies the history that I described in hour 1 of this show, and plays 15
Hour one?
games
Yep.
or more. They don't win the Super Bowl if Patrick Mahomes plays 15 games or more.
Ooh, you
Ooh,
said the
they,
villain's name.
Ooh, wow.
You turned
Yeah.
heel on us.
That's a very open-ended thing. I would
You,
say.
you would you like some more time to think?
No, I got this.
Okay.
I think the
You don't
49ers
sound super confident.
I would say the 49ers win the Super Bowl if, and I know that, we can talk about the merits of the passer rating, but I do think that that's an important metric with, touchdowns, interceptions. I think if Brock Purdy has like a 108 passer rating or better, and that carries on through the playoffs, and then the defense can amp it up a little bit and get pressure and generate takeaways, let's say, a takeaway per game, I think they'll be in really good spot.
So Matt's basically saying if the offense is really good and the defense is really good, they might win the Super Bowl.
No, he
knows me
didn't.
too well.
He said
He saw through that.
He said a 108 rating, which I believe on FM radio, that's as high as it goes. So Matt's saying they got to go above FM.
There
What
we
was
go.
his rating this year? It was close to that, right?
Was it quite 100?
He's been
It was
throwing
around
some
100,
interceptions.
yeah.
I just think that I think his game is so good, but too many takeaways or too many giveaways. He's got to cut down on the turnovers, and then defense. The defense was bad last year. I don't think
you could just say Mike Evans gets 10 touchdowns in there.
I don't think it's. I could have, but I
The
would've
defense
thought-
gets more than 4 interceptions.
I think they have the talent to win it all.
Yeah, no, so do I. I'll say this. I think they win the Super Bowl if they are top 10 in defensive yards per carry against. They've
Wow.
been
Oh,
they've
that's
they've
good.
been brutal against
Yeah.
the run the last
I
3
agree.
years.
Yeah.
They've I think 17, 23 and 21. That used to be a strength of theirs. That has not been the strength. Teams run on
I think
them.
they've been worse against the pass.
No,
Yeah, but it starts with the
it
run.
starts with the run. So
If you don't stop the run, you're not going to stop the pass. If you stop the run, then you can start, because I think that goes hand in hand with getting to the quarterback. If you don't stop the run, you're not sure exactly when they're going to pass, so you can't pin your ears back and get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
I think they lose the Super Bowl or don't get to the Super Bowl or don't win the Super Bowl if their run offense, yards per carry offense, is as bad as it was last year.
No chance.
They were brutal running the ball.
They
I'm
could
surprised
there were
McCaffrey-
no big gains.
None.
Nothing.
Like a 4-yard gain, you wanted to have a ticker tape parade. Like, oh my God, did he just get 4 yards? It's amazing.
That's why
Like,
that's why they drafted Kalen Black in the 3rd round.
He can get him 4.2. But I think, it's boring, but I always believe, like we talk
I
about the
agree.
quarterbacks,
Yeah.
receivers, all
Yeah.
that, but it's still a line of scrimmage game. And the line of scrimmage hasn't nearly been good enough the last 2 years. Now, the years before last, they were pretty good running the ball. They ran the ball good.
really good, yeah.
Last year, they were just god awful running the ball, and they couldn't stop the run. Like, that's no way to try to win a Super Bowl. So, defensive line, it's all about the run. They got to run the ball a little bit better. They got to stop the run a lot better. And then I think they're going to have a good chance to win a Super Bowl next year.
I think when they win in Australia with a koala and the bamboo like this,
It's going
to be, they're going to go on that's going to be it.
Now, is there anything you guys want to do when you go to Australia? You guys are going for 10. You guys got to go for 10 days, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 10 days. Yeah.
I mean,
I may not come back.
There's a koala park nearby, and where you can apparently go and hold a koala.
But don't you want to go
I like the way
crocodile
you
hunting?
did that. You
Yes.
did the whole rocking back.
He's been
and forth.
practicing.
I can see that.
I'm more about crocodile hunter. I thought that's what the whole thing was.
Yeah, I don't know if there are crocodiles there. That's North Coast.
Dingoes?
Maybe the dingo,
Dingo
ate your
ate my
baby.
baby. Now you going for 10 days? You think?
Probably maybe a week.
Wow, you guys are going to be tearing it up in Australia.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. What do you
wanna
guys want to do? You want to do koalas? We got that. You want to do crocodiles?
I know. I want to go. I love traveling. I love seeing cities. I want to go to Sydney for a couple days. I want to take in a rugby league game. I want to
Ooh,
see
nice.
I want to see other stuff. I don't do well in museums or culture aspect. I do well in sports and bars. And running
high
paths.
culture is
I
not
do well in
Cam.
bars.
I do well at bars. I can meet people. I'm good. I can
Yeah,
host
you are.
I can host the Tolbert show
You're
in the Southern
gregarious.
Hemisphere.
Yes, you can.
I think
Yes,
you want to
can.
come. It sounds like you want to come.
No, I don't.
Oh.
No, that 20-hour flight sent me back a little bit.
I'm
Like I
thinking
just,
Foster's and Vegemite.
that's
Yeah,
it.
That is so
that's-
wrong.
You want to see Men at Work while you're there too?
Yeah.
Midnight
Matt's gonna
Oil.
Matt's got a one-on-one with Jared Hayne ready to go.
That's right. I forgot about him.
That was outstanding.
Oh, boy.
Love
is he
that.
still, do we need a?
So
Can
when
you
he
visit
was on the
him?
Niners in 2015, it
Wow.
was of all the years I've covered the Niners, it was one of my favorite years because I basically was a dual reporter for Fox Sports Australia. So anytime Jared Hayne breathed, touched the ball, said a word,
Okay.
I would do reporting for Fox Sports Australia, and they were the nicest bosses because he was like the Michael Jordan of rugby league. Anything he did, they wanted reports on. The problem was, as great as the summer romance was with Jared Hayne, Monday Night Football against Green Bay Packers, he fumbled like a punt return. He was excommunicado.
Yeah.
And then Halloween came in St. Louis, and he was released. And we were at a bar, I think it was an Irish bar in St. Louis. And there was a guy dressed up as Batman, which we're pretty sure was Jared Hayne, because there were like 3 or 4 other Australian blokes with him. And we're like, oh my God, the guy got cut and he's out with us. Yeah, I was like, we all made it safe back that night, but it was very interesting. It was quite a season.
Is he out of?
He's out of jail.
custody?
He's out of
Yeah,
jail.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in jail for a while.
Yes, he
wasn't
was. That was not.
Yeah.
That was bad business. And like a lot of the
I remember
Aussies,
that.
because I got to know a lot of Australian reporters, and that did not go over well with like how bad he
Should I
became.
go to the restroom or wait? Like, are we gonna? How long?
But we can wrap it up because I
Okay.
think we all want to have a beer and maybe watch a
And go to the
game and
restroom?
maybe even eat.
I'm
I'm surprised.
I believe the Giants are playing right now.
I actually.
What? Oh,
They lost.
it's already over.
Breaking news.
Oh,
Really?
they lost to the new Phillies manager.
All right, keep it going for
Oh,
another
wow.
7 minutes.
Gabe
All right,
Kapler, somewhere happy.
I guess we got to keep it going for 7 minutes so we can tell Matt a proper goodbye.
Don Mattingly, yes, not Matty.
Should Mattingly be in the Hall of Fame?
No,
Really? Not long. Didn't
No.
do it long because he was
no.
one of the top
No.
3 or 4 guys in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
For 5 years.
Please.
Like
One of
that's
the
how
best
good he
hitters,
was.
yeah.
He was an incredible hitter. I mean, not only average but
I
power.
would love that.
That's back when 35 home runs carried a little clout back in the day, and he'd hit 340, 335. But I think it was 7 years was like kind of his prime. I guess that's the question: is 7 years good enough? 7
Any
years of
world
dominance.
champions? Chips
I don't know.
in
The
that
Yankees
time?
were bad.
Yeah.
They were bad in the 80s. That was a Danny Tartable era.
Can I ask you a question?
Please, yeah, absolutely. You own
Tom?
the damn place. You can do whatever you
Hello,
want.
may I ask you a question here?
Yes.
Why are you wearing a white tee? Where is your Judas Priest? Where is your social distortion?
You know what? It's a great question.
Bad religion. Where is that?
Oh, I love Bad Religion.
Oh, I know you do.
That's one of my favorite bands of
Oh
all time.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, for some reason, I have probably 4 black T-shirts and 20 white T-shirts. I just like white better.
Okay.
I don't know. I like why. I don't know why. Like, look, I didn't catch the woke train. Okay, so look, I like white. It's who I am.
Got it.
It's what I've always believed in. No, I don't know why I like white T-shirts better. I just like white T-shirts, and you can't get concert T-shirts in white
No.
for the most part.
No.
Like although I did have a white Tool shirt, but the black T-shirts that I have are brewery T-shirts. I think I have a Bear Bottle, Field Work. I don't know. That's a great question.
What was
though.
the best concert?
Maybe there is something about me. Maybe I
No.
need to look at myself
No.
in the mirror.
What
a
was the
little
best
bit
concert you
and
ever
ask
been to?
why I only like to wear white T-shirts.
What was your best concert you ever went to?
God, now you got me thinking. I'm gonna have to look at myself in the mirror and ask some
Josh?
hard questions. Like,
Every Metallica show.
Oh yeah, that's good.
my favorite. Well, I just saw Dropkick Murphys and Bad Religion a couple
Oh,
months ago.
that's
nice
outstanding.
one.
That was awesome. But I think my favorite show was an Iron Maiden show I saw at the Coliseum. And
With the Warriors? Were you playing with the Warriors?
no.
The
This was
Roman
probably like
Coliseum?
4 years ago.
Okay.
Every song that they sang, I had on my playlist.
Yeah.
So I could like almost sing every single song.
Join
Yeah.
quest for fire.
It was incredible. Bruce Dickinson was running all over the place like a madman. Eddie comes out like it was awesome. So that was a good one. I've seen Metallica a few times. I proudly say I'm got to be one of the few people on the face of the earth that have seen multiple Metallica shows, multiple Red Hot Chili Pepper shows, and multiple Oingo Boingo shows.
Oingo Boingo.
There can't be a lot of those people rolling around. There just cannot be a lot of those people.
Did you ever go to a show with Bill Walton?
No, I never did.
That's disappointing.
Whoa, what is he doing?
Can I tell you
Majesty.
my most famous Tom Tolbert story?
Oh, please.
Please,
Don't.
please. Okay, it's clean
Okay.
except for a little bit of the language.
Okay. That's okay.
That's about
Okay.
to become more famous.
So-
people know.
This is my famous story.
Yes.
USF hosted the Sweet 16 at the Oakland Arena.
Yep.
I don't know, is it 08, 09, Gonzaga,
Well, that's a good
UCLA,
question. Oh,
The Adam
Memphis.
that was the
Yes.
famous Adam Morrison game.
Adam Morrison.
Yes.
So that we're watching that game, and actually Shane Salazar, the former equipment manager,
Yep. Shane.
he was here. He was here. He had to leave. He was with me that day. It was my father, Shane, and another friend, and I had 4 tickets to the 2 days. And that game ends. And was it against Memphis? Gonzaga versus Memphis?
I
Or was it
can't remember.
was UConn there? I don't
Have they
remember
been
the 14.
UCLA, Memphis, maybe? I don't know. I
Maybe.
can't remember
Okay,
the name.
so whatever it was, Adam Morrison, the meltdown. My dad at the game ends, and you stand up and you walk, and you're right down from me, and I'm like, wow, he's in the cheap seats. And you come walking
I'm a
over,
man of the people.
and my dad casually says to you, "Wasn't that a great game to watch?" And you looked at him and you go, "If you like fucking terrible basketball." And that
sounds very
what a
October-like.
story.
No,
And I'm
no.
like, this is my favorite story
Tom, were you
ever.
a dick back then?
I don't know. Was I? I don't know.
Okay,
Apparently I was.
thank you for coming in here. And
Are you kidding me? Thanks
Niners
for
guys,
having us.
thank you. Yeah,
That's
this
incredible.
is so awesome.
This is
Oh
fantastic.
my gosh.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Love-
That basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Tom
probably lost the bet.
Tolbert.
That's why I pissed off.
It was a bad beat.
Yeah, I probably had Gonzaga -7, got beat outright, so I was probably pissed. I wasn't in a good mood.
You and Adam Morrison were crying together.
I wasn't crying.
That's the St. Mary's Mayoko coming out. There it
It
is.
happened. Adam Morrison on the
He
floor
did
there.
cry. Did cry. Pulled the shirt up over there.
Thank you, guys.
Josh,
Thank you,
so
Josh.
much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Everybody
it, man.
come to
Awesome.
McKays,
Good stuff.
Main Street, Pleasanton.
Yeah, come on down. This is a fantastic place. It's just a great patio, great vibe, great beers, great food.
Oh, don't forget about the Angry Goat upstairs. It's the
Oh, what's
speakeasy. You can fit in about 30 people. It's a wonderful little mid-century modern motif. Good cocktails. Blind Pig,
What, what are
Piney
you, a realtor?
upstairs.
It's
Yeah.
not like you. I mean, you got this thing dialed down.
I am a realtor as well on the side.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because my wife is. Why you want to buy? You want to come to Pleasanton now? Hey, where did Dave go? Dave's house is on the market. That's
It's
all
been
I
fantastic. I'll give you a call. I'll have my people
No,
call your
no,
people.
Call my wife, not me. No, you don't call me.
Fellas, thank you so much for coming out.
Fantastic,
having us,
Tommy.
Tom.
That was a lot of fun.
Welcome.
Yeah, it was.
anytime.
Thank you for organizing it. It was
Yeah,
it was
well,
a good time.
I didn't do much. It was mostly Daniel and Max who were behind the scenes here. They were doing everything. Give them a nice round of applause.
Hey.
Yeah, they did a great job setting everything up and making sure we're on the air. And it's just one of the reasons I tell people, one of the reasons I do this is, one, it's so lucrative. Two, I get to talk to the same people that I talked to when I was doing the radio show. And it's just, that's what I like to do.
And now you can see us.
And I get to see you, and no one around my house really gives a shit. Like, they don't want to talk sports with me. Like, I gotta have an outlet to talk sports. So I get to come on, talk sports with the same people that I got a chance to talk sports with and know throughout my career at KMBR. So that's why I do this, and that's why I love doing this kind of stuff. And it was so much fun to hang out with you guys and just have a couple beers and talk some Niner football.
Every every Tuesday once a month, right? Is that what we're doing?
Sure. I
Yeah.
mean, we could do that. I mean,
let's not push it.
Matt's like,
No,
please.
sorry,
not
Matt's
gonna
got more
happen.
important
I
things
mean,
to do.
he could crawl home, so he's good.
True.
He's like, I'll show up. Just let me know
Tom,
when you want to do it.
Your time with Ralph, like that was
Yep.
kind of land breaking. You guys were kind of pioneers as far as, it was either hardcore or it was the irreverent,
Goofy.
and you guys brought it together.
Yeah.
And I think that those are times that will never be duplicated
No.
again in the Bay Area.
I don't think so either. I'll say this, that we hung out once a year. We went to a Giants game together. That was it. If we didn't have the radio show together, he would not have been in my orbit. I would not have been in his. Period. End story. But the fact that we made it work,
Yeah.
and we had such a good time. We never had prep meetings. We just showed up, turned the mics on, and went.
Yeah.
And we played off each other, and we were so different. Yet we did see the world in very similar ways.
Yeah.
But he was one of a kind. I used to just sometimes I'd sit back and watch him grill Sabian and just laugh. I'd turn my mic off and I think to myself, I'm getting paid for this. This is amazing. I don't even got to say anything for 20 minutes. I'm like a fan sitting in here watching Sabian go at Ralph. I mean, with Saltamachia? With what? That was one of my favorite things of all time. So working with him was just the best. He was incredible. He was a San Francisco original.
Well,
he
but
really
it was like authentic passion. Whereas like
Oh.
nowadays in media, it's like
he
I'm
loved
going to
it.
be passionate as a contrarian to try
Yes.
to attract people to watch me for what kind of crap I'm going to say about somebody. Where that's not. the
No,
way
he was
it
a
is.
fan.
Yeah.
He was an absolute fan.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, still not. I'm a fan of sports.
Right.
I'm not really a fan of a team unless it's Arizona or the Angels. Speaking of crying, you want to see me cry? Talk Angels baseball, then I'll cry for you. But he was one of a kind. And I agree. I don't think nothing like that will ever happen again. I don't know where radio is going to be in 10 years. And so it could be gone at that point.
This?
So this is going to be radio in 10 years.
I think it already is.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could be sitting here in 10 years together going, remember that show we did 10 years ago? It was amazing.
We never left. We're still here.
You know what we're going to be like? We're going to end up like that picture at the end of The Shining with Jack Nicholson. That's going to be us sitting here. They're just going to impose us in here. Go, what year was that? 2001. What? They were back way back then. It was incredible.
But you know, speaking of like murder mysteries, this guy right here. Yeah, I mean, this is like the best author
oh,
around.
that's right. You should plug your book.
Muddy the Water. It's available.
Why don't you
anywhere
plug
can
the
get books?
the book club here wants to know when the next one's coming out.
Well, we're almost finished writing it, but it probably wouldn't be published until the winter, probably January.
Now, you write it with your wife, right?
My sister.
Your sister. Okay.
Did you get married?
I was kind of
Did
close
I miss
on
the
that.
bachelor
It's
party?
like a marriage.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not,
okay.
it's not always easy.
Yeah. Like if it was Utah, people wouldn't got mad at me. They go, oh, okay, we're good. So how do you write a book with somebody else? Like, I'm fascinated by the process of writing a book with, like, how does that work?
Well, there are three main characters, two of whom are female, and one, the main character, is
Broom.
male. So we divide the chapters up that way initially. So we know we do the plot. We sketch the plot
Okay.
outline, and we assign chapters to each person. So 3 points of view, two female, one male. I write the male, and they kind of equal each other. And then at the end, we put it together and we edit each other's, and so it doesn't seem like it's written by two people.
That's wild. That's what it's like. It's almost like a TV show where you have different directors each.
And we never have
episode.
any arguments about
No, I bet you
the
don't.
title or
I
anything
bet
like
you.
that.
I bet
Yeah.
you don't.
Barrows plays the role of Harbaugh.
It gets intense. She's the older sister too, so I'm supposed to be in the role of underling, the person who gets bossed around. Basically,
I do recommend his book. His book is a great book, and it Muddy the Water. Matt Barrows, his sister, not wife.
Not
It's a great
wife.
book.
Well, thank
No,
you.
would
I think
not
we've
work.
established that.
I know.
Although if it's Utah. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that again. And Max is going, don't do that. Why? We're not. Nobody's in Utah watching us. They
That
don't
won't make
care.
the final copy.
No, it's just, anyway, moving on. So Everybody's like, okay, we wrapping it up? Yeah, I think we're wrapping it up.
We get to incest. It's probably time to wrap it up.
Wait.
I don't know. I have some amazing incest jokes. I won't get to them right here.
How long
but
did
next
your
time-
how long did your show go with Maddie in your backyard? Didn't it go like plus 3 hours?
Because we're right at 3
we're
hours.
at 3 right now. I want to break the record.
What's the
because
record?
it's-
Yeah.
Well, we're not breaking the record because I had my buddy Bergie come over. We did the pre-draft show, which was only supposed to be. I told people we're only going to do like 5 picks in. We're not going to stick around for the whole draft. And then we got to BS and doing what I do, and we were talking about this and that. And we look up, it's pick 19. We're like, we might as well stick around for the Niners pick. So the Niners
we
trade.
went all
We're like,
33?
oh,
Come on. You waited
a
it-
full 36
You went all night
hours.
long.
we went no.
Overnight.
We went 3:45? Almost 4 hours. Jumping on the next day until the Niners picked. I go, I'm not risking it. Because they trade out again and I'm stuck here by myself. Like I go, no, I'm not. We're not doing it.
When we're in the media bunker at Levi Stadium with no windows, we're like away from the world, and we see pick is in, it's just like, yes. All right, here it comes.
You
And
got
it's
something
like,
to write about, talk
Go-
about.
yeah, it's fine. We don't pick whoever you want. Just
Yeah.
give us something to write about.
Yeah, I was. We looked down. We're like, we just did this for 3 hours and 45 minutes. Are we done? I think we're done.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like,
we're-
so when you had Maddie at your house, that was like 3+ hours, and Matt was like
3+
on the ground,
hours.
like just like your dog. Just
we actually had. Well,
dog.
we had a few beers that
Your
day.
dog vomited and then licked me in the face. Do you remember that?
No, you do? Did
Yes.
really?
He- yeah, and then immediately jumped up and yeah.
oh,
How was that for you?
I've been trying to replicate that feeling.
Do you like Fresh Pet?
Oh,
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
You did.
That's
way to go, Jane.
That was
Mayoko.
Yeah, that was very.
that was
Was it
key.
Jane or Lucy?
That's James.
Jane.
Well, I told people when they come over to the backyard, we got beers. We're good. And you're gonna get. If you like animals, you will get licked by my dog. And my dog has tasted everybody that's been in the backyard, whether it's Marcus Thompson,
Ah,
Steve Kerr, Tim Kawakami, Matt Mayoko. Like the list is distinguished that she's
Nice.
licked. She's licked the best of the best in the
She-
backyard.
Does she
Who's that?
vomit every
Oh,
time?
Caliendo got
before she
Caliendo?
licks? So that was special for me.
Yes,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Marcus Thompson worked here in Pleasanton with
What
me
about-
about 30 years ago.
I know he
at
did.
the Valley Times.
And
Yes.
the bunny too.
Like-
Is the bunny still around?
well, the bunny doesn't lick anybody.
I know, but
Oh.
is the bunny has a owl swooped in and gotten the bunny, or bunny is still
No,
good?
the owl is not taking the bunny away. The
Yeah.
bunny's there. Actually, it's funny you say that. It's not that funny. Not
no.
as funny as incest jokes. But
No offense, Matt.
I did see an owl on the back fence about 7 years ago. It's the only owl I've ever seen there. And it was like,
Who?
it was big, an owl, just an owl.
Who?
Owl. Thank you. It took me 3 times to get that one. I could have kept going. Cam's like, I only get to use that every so often. It worked this time. That was
Helen, we got an
amazing.
owl out here.
But we had a couple bald eagles there in Alameda a few years ago.
Yeah.
They could have taken that bunny. Large talons could have taken, but we have crows. So the bunny's good.
We got crows.
So the bunny's good, the cats are good, the dog's good. We have a turtle and a hamster buried in the front
You have
yard.
a turtle?
Yeah,
Is it a terrapin?
had.
Oh,
I don't think it was a terrapin. I think it was just a regular turtle. It's not from Maryland, I don't think. Although it does have relatives.
Because
It has
there's a
relatives in
terrapin here at
Maryland,
McKays, I believe, on the draft. Terrapin. Yeah.
But the,
Faction terrapin.
Yeah, we buried it in the front yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the
Is that allowed?
In the aquarium.
Did you have to get a permit for that?
I don't know. I kept thinking of the Ramones song,
Does the HOA
Pet
cover
Cemetery.
that?
You're gonna come
Oh.
alive. Was
Is-
that?
Does HOA cover you burying?
Oh,
animals in-
HOA would probably frown on that. I'm
Yeah.
guessing
Uh-huh.
they would frown on the turtle because it was like, it was bigger than a silver dollar pancake. Let's put it
Right.
that way,
Well,
but
you
not a
probably have
regular
to-
pancake.
If you bury a turtle here, you might have to move stuff around. It just becomes a shell game at that point.
You kind of just want to. You just kind of want to bury your head.
Hey, hey,
Oh, let me stretch out a
let's
little
wrap it
bit.
up.
I'm surprised you didn't get backhanded for that. him and the hamster right next to one another. Right, and they just.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then we have a stone for our dog Maybell that passed away 4 years ago. But yeah, I'm all about it. You got to keep the animal, get the ashes, and we're good to go. I'm guessing everybody here. This is like turned morbid, but what the hell?
Absolutely.
Since Cam wants to break a record, I'm assuming.
Keep going. You got like.
Is there anybody here that doesn't want to get cremated? Does anybody want to go open face?
Yeah.
Like mafia.
I want to be cremated and then like have a tree planted with my
Ashes?
cremation,
Okay.
so that the tree grows up and like part of me is in the tree.
Deep.
Pretty good, huh?
Deep. Yeah. What if the tree doesn't grow?
What,
That's going to speak to your ashes.
you just dig up the ashes.
You know what, Matt?
And put it in a tree that
This is like the Jerry Springer show. That is your tree right there, right here. This is you.
That's a nice tree. I wouldn't mind that tree.
It's a beautiful one of the Pleasanton's finest.
See, I wanted to get.
Josh, I think you just got.
I wanted to get cremated.
This is good.
And then they don't have ashtrays anymore. I wanted to get sprinkled
On an airplane?
No, in casinos.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get sprinkled in the ashtrays at the sports book at the Stardust.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody would have done that for me, but they don't have ashtrays anymore anyway.
Wait, does the Stardust still exist?
No.
Yeah.
No. That's why.
Yeah.
It on multiple counts, it's not going to work for me. But I just thought that'd be cool. I could sit there and watch a game one last time.
Have you been to Vegas to the
Through eternity.
Well, I guess when the janitor comes, they're going to dump me anyway, so I'm going to be done.
The janitor comes right as then it's
I'd want to be put during the Final Four. Just sprinkle me there. I could
on the court?
you playing
Yeah.
one
There'd
Final
be
Four?
people would slip on that.
Tom,
No.
you playing one Final Four?
Yes. Lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was that
way to
with
rub it in,
Mookie?
Matt. Just dig it right in the worst part of the
Is that with Mookie Blaylock? Was he on that team?
Wow, good knowledge. Stacey King,
Lute Olson.
Ricky Grace,
Okay.
Harvey Grant,
And then who they lost in the next?
the Kansas.
To Kansas.
Danny Manning and the
okay.
Miracles.
Is this 88?
Yep, Danny Manning took him out. So
You guys are a better team than Oklahoma, weren't you?
Don't.
yeah, that does me a lot of good. I mean, anything else you want to talk? You want to talk about my surgery too? If I can, let's talk about
No, let's
that.
go back to the ashes and the dogs
talk
and the
about
turtles.
let's talk about my surgery when I was in excruciating pain. Actually, I wasn't in that much pain. I got to be honest with you. That's one of my favorite pictures. I should put it up on the website.
Or
When I
right
went-
here at McKays.
Yeah, when I went for my first surgery, they put me in the back of the ambulance, take me down to Stanford, and I had Haley take a picture of me. I gave her 2 thumbs up as I went off. I probably wouldn't have done it if I'd have known how close I was to perishing. Like that probably wouldn't be. They probably wouldn't get a kick out of that one as much as they do now. Like it's funny now. It had. But then again, if it went wrong, I wasn't going to be there to find out anyway.
That's
So what do
right.
I care?
Yeah.
I didn't care. I'm like, you guys deal with it. I'm good to go. Although I think I've told this before, when I got down there, we didn't know at the time, but like time was kind of the essence
Yeah.
when I went down there 8 years ago. And they had a whole bunch of construction down there. And the ambulance, which was going like 90 miles an hour, hauling ass to get down there and everything, they finally get to Stanford. And then there's so much construction. They're like, one guy looked at the other guy and said, "Is this the right building?"
Oh, shit.
And I remember like lifting up off the gurney. I'm like, guys, take your time. We're good. Just you know what? Just make sure we get the right building. No, at that point I wasn't doing the thumbs up.
You had that double barrel going at that point.
They found, is this the right building? Like, is this the right building?
Was it
I don't know.
rush
Does it say
hour?
emergency?
was it
that?
rush hour when it happened?
No. It was like 10 at night
Oh, okay.
because it happened during a Giants game. I think the Giants did it to me.
Yeah.
I was watching the Giants game, and that's when I felt all the
Understandable. You're
pain
not
and
alone.
stuff. And
Sure.
Farhan.
Yeah.
yeah, that's when I went to Alameda, and then Alameda sent me to Stanford.
They didn't helicopter you in? Like they couldn't?
No.
Doesn't Steve Young have access to a helicopter to help you out? Get him over to his side of the peninsula.
No, but he's got one of those big helmet carts. He could have.
Oh,
I could have taken that
Hey,
over there like a bullpen cart. I could have driven it down the freeway with a big Niner helmet on it.
I will say that isn't Steve like one of the greatest people like you've gotten to know and interview? Like I
Love
never
him.
covered him, but like for the 20 years of like just getting to know him after his career, like he is one of my favorite people of all time. Just like he's just so authentic and great and just
Because
a wonderful guy.
I've had him on tons of times. Had him on once a week throughout the course of football season. He's on the pod a few times. Steve's a Hall of Famer. You would never know it by talking to him.
No.
He's just a regular guy, and he never mailed in an interview.
Yeah.
He's always engaged with you. Always engaged with the interview. And no, he's fantastic. Got to know obviously Brent Jones. Really well, and he's just another.
As is Josh.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't know Josh knew Brent. Brent said to say hi. He would have liked to have been part of this, but we couldn't figure out a way to.
He's watching.
You know what I told him? I said, well, I could figure out a way you could be part of this. Use some of that money you have, get yourself a private jet and fly down here, do the show, and then fly back. You could pull that off. And then Brent's like, Brent's like, I don't want to, because Brent's kind of a regular guy too. He's just a regular dude. So, no, it's fun getting to know guys. And those two in particular, they were ahead of me. Like they're a little older than me.
Yeah.
So I watched them as a fan. So that's how I remember them. And then when I was up here, they were still playing. So when I was with the Warriors, one of my favorite memories, going to a Van Halen concert, and it was me, Will Clark, and God.
Will Clark of the Giants.
Yes.
He'd waited so effing long to go to a Van Halen
Yes, it
concert
was
for
so
you.
effing long. And I think my buddy was with me. I think Berkey might have been with me. But we were backstage watching Van Halen, and there was Will Clark and a couple other Giants too. And I as a sports fan, I thought, God, how cool is this?
Yeah.
Not only am I playing for the Warriors, I'm hanging out with Will Clark watching Van Halen backstage. This is the most amazing thing. So getting to know those guys, getting to know Dwight Clark a little bit, just, if you're a sports fan and you get a chance to play and meet these people that you grew up watching, it's pretty amazing. Because I found out really quickly, being part of the Warriors, a lot of guys that play pro sports don't know jack shit about sports.
Yeah.
They're just good. So they play it. But you ask about the history of sports or like, what's your favorite baseball team? I don't know.
I would also say like, because you weren't from here, from the Bay Area. I mean, the Bay Area there's a lot of people that come in here for work and stuff, but it takes a lot to accept it as if you're one of us kind of thing. And you obviously did, but I mean, there's not many people that do that. And that was a big time thing. I mean, you were a fabric of the Bay Area sports landscape because of that.
I think like you're not from here, and
No,
all
I'm
those
from
guys
LA.
you mentioned, like there's so many guys who come to the Bay Area who are from, like Jerry from, Mississippi.
Yep.
Patrick Willis, Bryant Young, all these guys, but they end up staying here. Why do you stay here?
One of the reasons, well, for me, it was easy because I'm from California anyway. And I always thought I'd go back down to Southern California, but I just wanted to stay up here because it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but I think when you're an athlete, you think you're always going to go back home. But then the longer you're here, roots form. You have kids.
Yep.
They go to school. You're part of a community. You have your own friends. And all of a sudden, this becomes home, not what home used to be. So I think, and I think one of the things that I love so much about Alameda is the diversity. That my kids are growing up around this diversity, and my son Walker, his wife is Korean. My son Weston, his girlfriend is Afghan. I told Haley, I go, you can marry anybody but just a regular white guy. I go, I'm trying to get the United Nations going here, and I got 2. So I need one more to try to kind of fill out the card for me if I can pull that off.
And no Arizona State people either, right?
No, I did tell her that.
Okay.
I said ASU. I'm sorry, that's out. We're not. It's not going to happen. I've never hired a hitman, but there's always a first for everything. But no, I love the area because of that. Because you grow up surrounded by that, and you're not just surrounded by people that think like you, that are you, that do the same things you do, and it's just a great area. I mean, the Bay Area is the best, aside from gas and taxes and forget it. I mean, look, I'd rather say an incest joke than what I was going to say. So I keep going back to that. People are going to go, "Oh, wait a
He's
minute.
ready to chime
That's
in.
one time too many, Tom." Like, what's this? What do you got going on here? What do we have going on? Nothing. So that can be like, I don't even need to say anything, and it's a great joke. You just throw the word out there, and people are like, "Ooh, God, that's kind of what do we got?"
I was just going to note that I thought Ronnie Lott was also a Bay Area kind of jewel,
Yeah,
and
well,
someone who really appreciated the history of the sport, even when he was playing.
yeah,
So when growing up in Cupertino and the Niners were starting to win Super Bowls when I was in my very impressionable years,
Yes.
right? And Ronnie Lott was 42. Like in high school, you'd play drinking games, and if you got a 42, there's a reversal. It would be called a Ronnie Lott. But anyhow, Ronnie Lott. Sorry, we're in a beer establishment. Anyhow, Ronnie Lott built a mansion atop a hill in Cupertino, and we would ride our bikes up to or else somebody would drive, and we would be outside the gates. This is Ronnie Lott. I mean, this is Ronnie frickin' Lott.
Yeah.
We all appreciated like how like everybody's a Joe Montana, but like Ronnie really defined so much about that era that gets overlooked way too much. But I think like nobody's lost that legacy of Ronnie because everybody knows how important Ronnie was to those teams and still is. And it's always good to see him and hear from him.
no doubt. All right, fellas, should we go watch a game? Maybe have a beer, another beer.
Yeah, let's see if we
Thank
can.
you, guys.
Put a
Yeah,
sandwich
thank
on my
you.
chest.
And
Outstanding.
thank you, and thank you to Josh and his wife.
Thank you,
Barb.
Josh. Thank you, Barb.
The amazing establishment, really, really cool. The beer has been great. The food's been. I haven't had as much as I'm going to have, but everything has been fantastic. We'll have to get back out here when it gets even warmer, because during the summer, I would imagine the nights here are spectacular. Sun goes down; it's going to be about 84, 85. Maybe we'll come out here and do this again. But I do appreciate you guys doing this.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. It's been a lot.
Thanks
Our
for having
pleasure.
us.
It's been a lot
Thank
of
you,
fun.
Tom. Yeah.
We didn't break the record. I'm sorry. Matt still got
It's
you
all
beat.
came
good.
close.
That's probably
We came
good.
close.
Matt still got
That's
you
probably
beat.
a good thing.
All right, everybody. I'm not sure
All right.
exactly what we got going on the rest of the week. I think maybe Friday Dave Fleming will join us, talk a little Giants. What was the score, Ogden? They lost. So they were close. So they lost a nail biter, 7-0.
Do you think Dave Fleming?
Philly.
Do you think Dave Fleming's at Monk's Cafe drinking
He should be.
a Hills Farmstead right
Hills
now?
Farmstead. Oh God, that was one of the best. He's right. That was one of the best beer bars
Yes,
I've
sir.
ever come
Yes,
across.
sir.
And the
Yeah.
fact that it was 50 yards away
Yeah.
was the best.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the best. Since I've already thanked you guys, I'll tell you this on the way out. Since you bring this up, so we go to our Airbnb in Philly.
Yeah.
And it's late at night. We drove that night after the Jets Bills game. We get to the Airbnb. Really, it's a nice place. Like, go in there. It's like, okay, goes 2 stories. The big bedrooms were good to go. And Monks was there. We're like, it's great. Go in the kitchen. We look. We're like, there's a lot of stuff left in the refrigerator. Like, they probably should be this stuff, right? Airbnb.
Oh no.
Probably shouldn't be all this
no.
stuff left in the fridge. God, why is the trash so full?
Oh no.
Like, did the maids come? I don't know if the maids came or not. All right, let's go we'll go upstairs and check out the bedrooms and stuff. God, the sheets aren't quite right. Like,
Oh,
the
no.
sheets aren't like what they go. Oh man, there's hair in the sink. Why is there hair in the sink? The maids didn't come. No maids showed up at our Airbnb. Like, there was an actual towel still out in front of the shower, like where someone was stepping on it, so they wouldn't get the.
Do you realize
water.
how gross this is to Barros right now? Like Barros is like,
Kind of a germaphobe.
But whoever it was, to their credit, we told them about it. They took care of it the next day while we were in Gettysburg. But it's
While
the
you were
worst.
in Gettysburg,
So we
wow.
showed up at our Airbnb, and it was like there wasn't even sheets big enough to make my bed. I just slept on the top sheet. I rolled myself up like a burrito and just went to bed. I got the top sheet, and I go, Bergie, just push me. So I like roll up. I rolled up like I was inside a carpet.
taco. Yeah, taco. That's perfect.
Like a taquito.
Oh God.
We were at Monk Cafe. Was it Monk?
Monks.
Monk's Tavern.
Monk's Cafe.
Monk's Cafe.
Okay. And we were about ready to leave. We had a beer and we were about ready to leave. And a guy, behind the bar walked through
Oh yeah.
with a case of Hetty Topper. And we were walking out, and I looked.
We look
I
at
was like,
wait, what?
oh my God, is that Hetty Topper?
Everybody said,
And-
is that available for purchase?
And I went up and I go, is that like, why would they have beer there that wasn't available for purchase?
No, we're keeping
But
that.
that was a question I asked. I was
So
like, can we buy that?
This is ours. We're
we
hoarding
did not.
it.
We did not leave.
And I
I
said,
bet you did.
we're turning around and we're staying
And
here.
And there is another restaurant like this for the Philly fans watching right now. Another block up, they do serve main brewing, main lunch, main
lunch.
dinner, like the main brewery, like that.
Have
that
you had
beer is
that?
out.
Main brewery
Main
cup?
is
No.
outstanding. Main lunch is awesome.
Okay.
And then there's an Irish pub across the street from Monk's Cafe, which is also pretty good too.
Was it a Steeler bar too?
It was not.
That was not in Germany.
It wasn't Germany.
It was not Germany. Tom, it wasn't Germany. It was
But
Philadelphia.
I will say that sometimes you're like, yeah, the recommendation that was spot on. If you guys haven't been, if you're going to Philly, go to Monk's Cafe.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an awesome.
Yeah, forget Pat's and Geno's. Go to Monk's Cafe.
Yeah, it is an awesome.
Although Matt took me to the Palestra. We went and saw Penn
Big
play
Five
Harvard.
basketball.
So great.
Was it Penn and Harvard?
It was Penn and
And there
Harvard,
and
yes.
the student section was taunting the other section, saying our GPA scores were better than yours, or our SAT scores were real. It was
You guys
such
never
great-
got in those arguments, Arizona State.
No,
did you?
not really. No, that wasn't a big part of the trash talking. I mean, nobody wanted to bring that up. They're like, yeah, let's do the basketball trash talk.
Yeah,
That works much better for us.
our team can jump higher than your team.
We had a good night in Tucson once.
I don't remember it too well, but
No, it was good. We went to Arizona UCLA football game before a Niner Cardinals game.
Really?
Yeah, that was great.
All right, fellas.
I think this
Yeah,
is,
thank you.
Let's go have a beer.
I think
All
it's
right,
run its
thank you.
course.
All right.
Thanks for everybody. Thanks for staying
Yes, thank
tuned
you.
in.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody, for
Josh.
stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's been a good time. We will see you again.
By the way, we filled this backyard. There are so many
he
people
wants,
here.
he is.
He
He wants
wants-
to stay on like 10 more minutes. He wants to beat Matt Mayoko's
We're
record.
almost there. Look.
Oh,
No, okay, that's it, people.
See ya.
We got to watch Tom's food.
And remember this, Tommy T. Cash and tickets is what it's all about.